All right, good evening, everyone. Let me just try and see if you can see me, right? Okay, good evening, everyone. Again, this is day 2 of this 3-day seminar towards career development. And we've been looking at understanding all it takes to become a business analyst. That's what we had a look at yesterday. And today we're going to be moving further onto the agenda for day 2. But before we do that, can I please ask that I just want to kind of have an idea. If you just go into the question area of your control panel and just tell me just a yes or a no. Now, did you attend yesterday's session? Just a yes or no. I just want to see who attended. Just type in a yes within the question or chat area on your control panel. Just type in a yes or a no. I want to know how many yeses I'm going to get. No. Just waiting for that quickly so that I know how to approach today. And it's because pretty much we want to quickly have a recap within 10 minutes before we move ahead. So I'm waiting for that. Type in a yes. Or a no. Okay, I can't see that. Does it mean we're not typing? Okay, I'll do it this way. Just give me a minute, please, quickly. Okay, so I'm posting the 8 as a question instead of did you attend the 1 session? Yes or no, please? Yeah, I think that will help me better. All right, so I'm going to close that and I'm going to share that with us. So you can see a lot of people attended yesterday. So quickly, that's good. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Right. So right, now back on track. So yesterday we had our first session yesterday. We had a look at roadmap to understanding business analysis and becoming a business analyst. And some of the things we had a look at, just a quick recap. I won't take most of our time. Today is going to be quite quicker than yesterday. I promise that. And we're going to have a couple of breaks, 5 minutes each, hopefully, yeah. All right, so we had a look at what business analysis is, and we defined a business analysis as a research discipline that helps to identify business needs and subsequently providing solution options to businesses. So identifying business needs and providing solutions to business. Now, we identified like about 5 different solution types: software development, we identified business change, we identified system or process change. We were able to identify projects like strategy development or change to strategy and policy development and or changes to policy, which tells us that all projects are not software projects. There are projects that are business-specific projects, which made us to conclude that business analysts don't have to be technical person. We're not really technical. It's just one of them options or extra skill set that you might have as a BA to be technical. But essentially, what we need is the ability to understand the need of the business, any sort of business need at all. We call them requirements, and interpreting that and translating that into some documentation that makes sense to technical guys. So we document. I document as a bit technical because they're graphical, right? One of the things, again,
the skill set of the BA, we have to look at some skill set, our cost itself, communication skill sets, critical thinking, problem solving ability. Then we have to look at BA specific techniques, like the understanding of BA techniques and the understanding of BA tools, which is called understanding of our techniques and tools. That is the basis of a business analyst responsibility. In fact, that is what you are recruited to do, to use techniques and tools to solve business needs and provide solutions. And again, some of the other tools, other techniques or skill set rather that we had to look at was kind of soft skill sets, ability to relate with people, ability to sort of engage with people or influencing people, managing conflicts, stakeholder management. And we had to look at some other extra skill sets that you might have, technical skill sets, and the skill set that relates to industry, that industry and domain knowledge, which is what made me to say to us yesterday that no matter where you work, no matter what sort of experience you've had in the past, that industry experience could be very much useful for you when you want to become a business analyst. And I gave us an example of how my previous engineering experience has sort of significantly helped me to get one of my current roles, contracts that I'm working on at the moment.
Just doing this.
I look at some benefits of they have to save time, have to find progress code, have to save money as well. We had to look at some challenges. BAs have to be on project every point in time and early enough, so that if mistake doesn't go.
I'm going to get myself done. I need to work.
Best practice. What I think, how should you practice as a BA? Being able to identify your stakeholders early, being able to understand what business analysis is all about, able to understand your tools and techniques, able to understand your project, able to understand your audience, which is the stakeholders, the ability to again understand the business environment you're working in, and what we call the system, the architectural sort of a definition of the industry you're working in. And I said to us on that note, I made mention of working in a bank is different from working in the retail industry. So there are systems that are related to the banking industry, there are systems that those systems are not related maybe to retail industry, but there are some similarities at some point in time. And again, we then move further to have a look at some techniques. We had a look at SWOT analysis from the business perspective, person analysis. I didn't mention quite a lot there, but quite a lot that we're still going to learn. It's just like an eye opener to what sort of techniques you can have that are not really that technical. Then we move further to techniques like questionnaire, interview, workshops, use case, prioritization, which is the Moscow, and so on and so forth, which are the core aspects of the other BAs that work on software development and all the rest. And one of the things, again, we did mention yesterday was that BA, one of the BA terminologies, requirement is a key terminology. Requirement means the business need, that information that you are getting from the stakeholder, from the business, from the user, whosoever, that audience, whatever they tell you they want, is called the requirement in business analysis. And you can't just be tired of hearing that. You are recruited to be a requirement gatherer, a requirement elicitor. Basically, you elicit requirement via different techniques. You gather requirement using different techniques. You document your requirements using tools and techniques that make sense to your audience. And again, I did mention that when you're documenting, it has to be audience oriented. Now, I want to present something to a business owner. Now, they're not technical, they just have no knowledge of any technical document. That's the way I'm going to present to them. I want to present something to the technical guy, the developer. There is a documentation that suits that purpose. So when you're documenting, you have to be, it has to be fit for purpose. And what I mean purpose, it has to be fit for your audience. Fit for your audience. And now, during the training course, the full length of the training, those are the things that we're going to be dealing with. to really understand the full responsibility or how to become a very good business analyst. Some of the things we have to look at today sort of relates to what we're going to do today, like stakeholder management, like the definition of a scope. We have to look at scope, conflict management. It's called to a project manager's responsibility as much as requirements as well. And then we went further to talk about how to do data requirements, how to do requirement engineering, how to document requirement. I showed us towards the end, I showed us the documentation of requirement analysis, documentation of BRD, which is called business requirement document, and some other documentation of which are called deliverables. Documentations in our concept is they are deliverables. So when they ask us a business analyst, so what are your deliverables? Now, my deliverables are in form of documents. Now, a project deliverable may be in form of a finished product. Now, my deliverable are in form of document. I'm going to deliver a BRD, which is business requirement document. I'm going to deliver a use case, or I'm going to deliver a flowchart, and I'm going to deliver a mock-up, a wireframe, or a business process modeling notation. So whatever your delivery per project, now those are your deliverables. And we mentioned quite a long list of them yesterday, which I said again, it depends on the project you're working on. And again, that's in the detail, the integrity of the training will point that out to you. Now, on that note, can I ask, does anybody have any question at all regarding yesterday's training? I've just gone through everything we've done yesterday. In case we're not there, about 27% of us missed that yesterday. Maybe we don't really need it, but we'll get to know very soon.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so please could you just do a little bit of housekeeping for those that are just joining in?
Sorry, there was a disconnection there. Yeah. Right. I didn't really notice that. There was a disconnection there. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hello?
Okay.
I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Right. What was the last thing you heard? There was a disconnection there. Like I didn't really notice. There was an audio disconnection there.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying that can you do a little bit of housekeeping for people that are just joining in?
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Okay.
But did you hear what I was saying earlier?
No. I just all what I just heard was just 27% of what we talked about yesterday.
Okay. Can someone just please tell me what was the last thing you heard? Because I noticed there was a disconnection there. Hello? Hello? Sorry, I still need someone to confirm, please. What did you hear yesterday about what I was saying yesterday? That's what I'm trying to look at. Okay, all right. I'll do some housekeeping for those of us that were not here yesterday. I believe you can hear me because nobody's actually talking now. Right. Quick housekeeping is please, you're going to notice on your control panel, you have an icon that looks like a hand. So if you have any question to ask, you want to talk, could you just wave and I will see that, then I can unmute you and allow you to talk in case you're muted. And another thing is you got a chat area, which is the question area. I think a lot of people are using that at the moment. And before we go into the full fledged, I'm going to go into some housekeeping after I run through what we did yesterday. That's what I was trying to do. Now, can someone just confirm that I've gone through what we did yesterday? Did you hear me? I need someone to talk, please.
Yes, but not all.
Now, what was the last thing you heard, so that I know what you didn't hear, so that I just quickly run through that.
The project management, when you just recapping on relating to project management, and then you talked about the 27% of what we talked about yesterday.
Okay, so I believe you heard everything I said about yesterday. Did you hear up to the point where I mentioned stakeholder analysis, conflict management relates to project management, and I went through to talk about the requirement engineering process, and I did mention some documentation. We mentioned when you capture requirements, it's going to be documented. I showed you some requirement analysis document, business requirement document, and I also showed us some technical documents which could be fit for purpose for some projects relating to either software projects, software development, or business change or process change. And I did mention again some related skill sets or related roles rather that a business analyst will actually fit into. The likes of process analysts, business process analysts, could be a system analyst, business system analyst, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't mean you have to be a full BA before you can jump on the ladder. There are some elementary skill set that you may have, like the ability to just draw up a process map, to just easily with the obviously with the rest of the core skill set and the soft skill sets together with that, you could easily land you a BA job. So that's the overall of yesterday. Do you have any question regarding yesterday? Please, I need you to wait and you talk. Don't send it as a question. Then I'll do the housekeeping, then we'll move on. Please. Yeah, any question? No? All right. Now, quick housekeeping. Today, we're going to be looking into at the topic, roadmap to understanding and becoming a project manager. And one of the things we went through yesterday was to tell you about myself, then I will do some housekeeping along. So my name is Joe. I'm Joe Gini. I'm an IT consultant specialized in business analysis, project management, data, and business intelligence analyst. Those are my core specialty. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Now, I've worked in different industries, started from the engineering industry to logistics to retail to digital. I've been in all those industries. Currently, it's a combination of logistics and retail, where combination of logistics, retail, and digital. That's what I do at the moment. I'm a team player and a team leader. I work with people that are sort of co-located with me, and I work remotely as well, just like we're doing now. I do have regular meetings with people offshore. Now, the next thing we're going to go into is quickly, before the housekeeping, I'm going to tell you to please tell me a bit about yourself. We went through that yesterday. Hopefully, it's not going to take too long. If you didn't answer that yesterday, please just quickly respond to this as quickly as you can. Just for those of us that were around yesterday, please, will you please help us answer that quickly? Okay, all right, I'll close that. So, why current related role, a few of us business analysts, a few of us project manager related, and yeah, quite a lot, well, a large number, yeah. Okay, so I'll pick that, that's fine. The next question, just 3 of them, by the way. Okay. All right, I'm going to close that in 1 sec. Wow, all right, excellent. All right, I'll close that now. Closing, close. I've shared that again with us so that we know. Right, quite a lot of people want to be BA, PM next, field data, BI, not decided yet. Fine, yeah, we put And that's the reason why. Yeah. All right. The last one. Okay, I'm going to close down now. Close, and I'll share that. Okay, so a lot of people have used Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, definitely. A few people with VCO and project related too. All right, cool. That's a kind of that's quite a good mix of it. All right, thank you very much for that. Thank you. And that's me knowing you, by the way. Next, the housekeeping. Please, as much as you can, please, let us maintain a very good background. If you want to unmute yourself, only unmute yourself if you want to talk. You're allowed to. But before you do that, if you want to talk, just wave. I will see that, and I'll just ask you to talk then, so that two of us will be talking at the same time. If you have any question at any time, two ways you could do that. You could raise your hand. Yeah, just wave. There's an icon on your control panel. Wave it. I'll see that. I'll just give you the audience, allow you to talk. Ask any question at any time. Or you could just type it in. I've got people that are helping me. I mean, I've got my team members or the panel helping me to have a look at that in case I'm missing something there. I try as much as possible to keep an eye on everything. Yeah, if you can't hear me for one reason or the other, maybe the audio is gone, it's from my end, I might not notice I'm concentrating on something else, I look at control panel. Please, it might take me a minute or thereabout, but just drop a question again that, oh, I can't hear you, I've seen something like that. Or just wave, I'll see that, then I'll just know if I see the hand waving, I know there's something wrong, or someone asks a question, I'll quickly, that will allow me to quickly stop and attend to that. Now, again, ask question anytime. I've said that. Share your experience. If you have anything to say, just let me know. Share your experience. Be ready to make mistakes. That's the rule of the game. There is no learning without mistakes. You make mistakes, you learn. I mean, we don't get to know everything from the start, but as we go along, you become more sort of confident, and if your proficiency improves and you become an expert, then you can become a mentor as well. Request for a break when you, as much as you can. I'll try as much as possible. Every hour we have a break. So by 8 o'clock we have a short break. We run again, maybe another 45 minutes or an hour. We have a break. Then we run through the last session. So we try to break into 3. So break at any point. But if you need a break at any point in time, it's a large number of people need a break, then we have to just stop and just wait for you. Yeah. So you have a right to request for one. And again, I think that's it. Make a good environment, make it comfortable for us, and yeah. Hopefully we have fun and it's successful. Thank you very much for that. And that's the rule for tonight. So now we kick off straight away. The plan, I mentioned that already. We're going to have a break. We'll break into 3. Go through some theoretical concepts. The second session, I'll go through a little bit of theoretical concepts and some practical. We're going to engage in some practicals. I'll try to run fast as I can. It's not a full training. It's an eye-opener, but you need to understand it so that you decide that gives you enough information to make a good decision as to I want to move on or I like the other way around. Yeah. And at the end of the day, everyone's going to have access to the video. I'll post it on our social media. You can go there and watch even yesterday's video as well. I've been working on that to edit it so that it's available for everyone to see. And today as well, and again tomorrow will be available. And so we're going to break into 3. And now the first question I'm picking now. The first question I always ask people when I deal with project management is, if you've experienced failure before, how do you feel? Now, as a business, as an individual, nobody feels good when something wrong happens. Yeah, nobody feels good. Nobody wants to be a failure. You don't want to do something that fails. But the thing is, it happens sometimes. But if you could do something to prevent failure, why not? I mean, you have to put everything in place to become, for a process to fail, or for a business to fail, or for anything you want to engage in life to fail. Nobody plans to fail. But it happens because of sometimes a negligence, ignorance, or a kind of a fearful attitude that, you know what, I can't be bothered, or we don't have the right skill set, the right knowledge to approach things the right way so that we can get the desired results And that's what happens. Now, if you experience one before, congratulations. Yeah, everyone is doing that. Now, that's the reason why there is now what we call project management. It applies to anything. It applies to life. It applies to what I do on a daily basis. It applies to how I manage myself, I manage my kids, the family, how you do at work. Project management is just essential. So people do it naturally on a daily basis, even without asking. It's just their way of life. Now, what is a project? Now, whatever you see on the screen says it's a set of interrelated tasks to be executed over a specific period of time, within a certain cost or budget and other limitations. So now, I'll summarize it. A project is anything, any defined task, any defined task or any defined set of tasks. It might be a single task, it might be a set of tasks, interrelated tasks, but it has to be related. Now, if it's not related, then it's not a project. They are separate pieces of work that needs to be done. It could be a BAU. Now, I do that. But when they are related, when you have an objective to achieve and you have set of tasks that needs to be done, that needs to be put in place to achieve that task, that becomes a project. If you have a target, now any objective you have is like a project, but it has to be broken down into set of, into granular set of tasks or set of guidelines or set of steps towards achieving that goal. And that is where it becomes a project. It needs to be coordinated. Now, anything that has set of tasks like that, it needs coordination. Because the thing is, if it's just a single step I need to take, I don't need it coordinated. It doesn't really need much of coordination. I could easily just do it and that's it. Now, I might need to walk through it, as a sort of time-based task or time-bound task, or a budget or cost-bound task, and using some resources. But it might not really be considered, well, in the enterprise world, as a project. It might be considered as something else. But a project is just those set of interrelated tasks that needs to be achieved at a particular time. It has time defined. It's defined. I need to get it by this date, and I can't spend more than this. And sometimes there are some variables that surrounds it because things need to be done. Things need to be put in place to achieve those set of things. That is what makes a task. Now, if we ask no much of time, yesterday I did mention sometimes an organization define project as set of tasks that needs to be executed over. Now they have a time range. Anything over 3 months then becomes a project. If it's not up to 3 months, then it becomes a BAU sort of or a small work. And some organizations do that. So you need to understand what a project is. Cooking of your rice at home, for example, I do mention some natural things. Becoming a business analyst, becoming a project manager is a project itself. It's a project itself. Now, when we're growing up, raising up a child is a project itself. There are lots of things we do that has to be defined as a project. Why does it have to become a project? There are times when you have to achieve it. You have certain limitations. There are limitations of time to execute it. There are limitations of some resources to execute it in terms of the time and in terms of your people around or things you need to buy. There are limitations on that, and it's got to be effectively managed so that you can achieve a desired objective. And sometimes you could define as a unique endeavor to achieve a specific goal, objective, of having a beginning to an endeavor to achieve a specific goal or objectives. Now within a particular time, it has a start and a beginning. There are 3 major sort of constraints that constitutes a project, which we're going to move into in a minute. You've seen the time there, you've seen the budget. It's got to be time defined, and it's got to be based on some constraints. Sometimes a project has a defined budget. They will give you some tolerance in terms of time tolerance, duration tolerance, and budget tolerance, plus or minus 5 or 10%, something like that. But the thing is defined. There's a time they expect it to deliver, and there's a budget already for it. And sometimes they have some specific number of resources available. Now, what's the work of a project manager then? What are you supposed to do as a project manager? Your job as a project manager is to bear the ultimate responsibility for making that set of tasks, those set of tasks, that objective, that goal, for making it a reality. That is your job. So a project manager is the person that manages, monitors, and controls those set of tasks. Those are the 3 things a project manager do. Now, there's the way I always put it, and I'm going to get there in a minute. So a project manager manages, monitors, and controls a project. They are the ultimate responsibility for making things happen. Now, we're going to be able to define at some point how they differ from the BA now as we go along. What should a PM know? A PM should know about project methodologies. An example is Prince 2. I did mention that yesterday. An example is Agile, the software development project methodology, or system application development. There are quite a lot of them. Waterfall. Those are all methodologies for delivering projects. Now, Prince 2 sits on top of every one of them. Agile the world is going agile now, so it will be very good for us to understand what an agile is. Is agile doing what's the difference between agile and Scrum? And those are some of the things we're going to be looking at tonight. And understanding of full project life cycle, that's different. Now, there's a different thing for understanding the project life cycle and understanding project methodology. Inside the project methodology, you might have the process. Like Crystal has 7 processes. Those processes may look like the phases of project, but they are not really your project life cycle. Because project life cycle is they're specifically defined differently, but they have some relationship or interrelationship together, which you're going to see as we go along. And again, as similar to a BA, a project manager, essential. This is very crucial. Now, stakeholder management and analysis is key to those 2 roles and responsibilities. Key to those 2 roles is one of their major responsibilities. You're going to be engaging with people, so you need to know how to manage people at different levels. Now, problem solving and decision making, risk management, and now, in addition, project manager do a lot of writing rather than as opposites of what a BA does. A BA, as mentioned yesterday, we don't do much of writing. Our writing is more when we capture requirement, we document it. Maybe by way of my own practice, I do my requirement analysis first, I break it down, and I do my requirement definition. Requirement definition goes in the BR, the business requirement document. That's one of the big documentation I do. Now, the biggest documentation of the BA is a spec. We call it a spec. We call it technical functional spec. We call it a solution spec or functional specification. Now, whatever the name is a spec. Whatever they call it, it holds the functionality of that project you're working on, well defined and scoped out with your graphical representations present in it. Because that is what the technical guy wants to say. They don't want to read notes. Anyway, so that is those are the things the PM should know, not as much as a BA, but they have more responsibilities. Again, understanding of project approach through Scrum and Agile, I've mentioned that. Project and program support and operation, very crucial, because as a PM, you might not really start as a project manager. You might start at the lower level, project coordinator, assistant project manager, a project administrator, a project support officer, a PMO analyst, and so on and so forth. Now, there are basic things you need to understand. The key thing is the project life cycle, the project methodologies. Those are key. You need to understand that. And stakeholder management. Even if you don't understand stakeholder management, you know all those about project methodology and project life cycle, I think you're good to go from the point of view of a project support or PMO analysis. They sit on the structure of projects, the structuring of a project in an organization, raising standard, creating standard for every project. Again, it's just an eye opener. We'll go in thorough details into all those as we go along. Skills required, leadership, I've mentioned that, influencing, negotiation, estimating, planning, problem solving, contract management, conflict management, effective communication, verbal and written, and again, stakeholder management and time management. It's just as similar to BAs as well. I've told you what project management is all about, understanding of fundamentals of projects. And I did mention the project managers monitors, control, and they manage, monitors, and control. Now, one of the key things they do is they define the projects. They define the projects in form of project initiation documents. Now, the BAs, I'll tell you how it normally works. Now, the BA, as mentioned yesterday, the BA's business analyst will gather requirements. The requirements gathered defines the scope of the project. Without the requirements properly understood, there is no way you want to define the project right. Now, so a BA and a PM, they're like that. They must glue together. They are like best of friends. Best of friends. That's why I always encourage, as business analysts, try as much as possible to gather as much knowledge of project management as you can. And that's what I do. That's what you can self-manage a project. It might not be a big one. And currently what I do is any project under 6 months, I self-manage, as well as my business analysis responsibility, and I set up a BI intelligence, business intelligence analyst responsibilities. But if it's more than 6 months, then I give it someone else because I'm going to sort of overpower myself. Let me see if there's anybody asking. Okay, nobody. All right. So with the project manager defined projects, they reduce it to set of tasks. Yeah, manageable tasks. I'm going to do that out. We're going to see that clearly. Then they obtain the appropriate resources towards building a team. That's the flow. So when a BA gathers requirements, now when the requirement is agreed on, there might be a lot of sort of back and forth workshops, requirement engineering, requirement gathering workshop, requirement review workshops that you're going to run as a BA. Project managers are involved. They are also included in that meeting. Now, so part of your stakeholder as a BA and as a PM, that both of you are included, right? So when a requirement is properly understood, gathered, now everybody's on the same page. This is what we're going to do, and every stakeholder, business stakeholder, and the project management team as well signs it off that this is good to go. We agree. Then a pre-ID can be defined. That's what we call project initiation document. Now you might have an initial definition in form of a business case, project charter, a contract, a project mandate, or project brief. Those are all documents which constitute the beginning of your project. Now, in those documents, you add what the objectives of the project is all about. But to break the objective down, you need to understand what needs to be done to achieve that objective, and those are what constitute our requirement that the BA capture. So BA understand the objective. That in our concept of this as a business analyst, that is your high-level requirement. We call it high-level requirement because it sits on top. On top of every requirement is the project objective. That's the business. That's what the business needs. Now we want to initiate, or we want to sort of introduce a new Salesforce management system so that we can increase our sales. Now, eventually, we want our profit to jump up by Q3 2020. We want it to jump up by 20% come Q3 2020. But after 2020, we want to have our sales increase by 20%. Now, by so doing, we're thinking introducing a new Salesforce management system will help us to do that. Example, I'm giving that an example. Now, fine, you've seen the objective of that project, you've seen the goal, you've seen what they want to achieve. How would you achieve that? How could you help the business? Now, by introducing the system to increase the sales and then subsequently increase the profit by 20%. That's your job. Now, business analysts to pick that up and start breaking that down. Who do I need to talk to first? What do we do currently? That's my first question. Why do we need a new system? As I mentioned that yesterday, never accept any business requirement, any need from any business, just like that. Now, you want to throw more light, you want to understand. Don't think you understand. That's going to be too ambiguous for you. You might think you understand. Yesterday, we mentioned that despite ambiguities, don't think you understand until you break it down into the very lowest level. Now, PMs too do the same. You get your project mandate, you get your project brief, please make sure you understand the project brief. Without understanding, you cannot define the project. Now, when you understand, the BA understand, you got a requirement, that requirement gives you the scope. Define it. Then when you define the project, what happens is you break the project down again into phases. Understanding of project life cycle will tell you what sort of phases you should have on that project. Now, I can give you a brief illustration at some point, but my high-level requirement stays there. Yeah, that's the project objective. And when that is understood, I can break that down into set of tasks. Now, project phases, that's what happens. I break it down into project phases. Each phase can then be simply broken down. So I'm going to have something like this a lot as a PM. You're going to have like an hierarchical structure. Now, how do you do hierarchical structure? That's going to lead me to tell you as PMs as well. You need understanding of some tools. Your Microsoft VCO or any other tool you can use, you could use that to draw like within your project documents, organizational structure. I could do organizational structure in that. I could do like a brainstorming in there. My brainstorming can give me something like this. Yeah. I can transform my brainstorming into a work breakdown structure. My work breakdown structure is hierarchical. Now, it tells me the project objective, and the project objective is broken down into set of stages. Now, how each stage is broken down into set of tasks. Each task might still be broken down as well. So you're going to have to flow down, and that's constitute my work program structure, which eventually becomes my project plan. I'm going to show you that. I'm just giving you an eye opener what you should do. Now, you break it down, reduce the set of tasks, operate. Now, when you now know the tasks you should do, the next thing you're thinking of is, I'm going to do this and this and this. Who will do that? Now, that helps you again to identify more audiences, like more stakeholders. Now, who's going to do it? Then you're having more people in the project now. Now, infrastructure department will solve that. That's infrastructure issue. If infrastructure doesn't do that, the networks cannot do it. So network will follow after that. Now, how do you understand all that? Your stakeholder engagement helps you in all this. You don't know everything. You need to talk to people. Now, I'm going to deal with that when we get to the stakeholder. But anyway, so you get a flow of how your responsibilities, what you do, will flow down. When you obtain the resources to do your task, that builds your team to perform the work. Then you set the final goal for the project, and then you begin your work to begin to motivate the team to complete it. So your job is like you're motivating people, you're managing people, you're monitoring the project, and you're controlling things as you need to. You're going to see that very soon. Then you inform all stakeholders of the progress per time. As the project goes on, there has to be regular communication in form of reports, regular communication in form of report, your status report every week. Yeah, highlight reports, if you call it. There are different sets of reports that we're going to be looking at. There are event-driven reports, there are standard reports that get generated, there are reports that get generated based on some triggers within the project. Something is changing, you need to raise the report for that. Everybody needs to know what's going on. Now, there has to be effective communication. So now you can see now as a PM, project manager, you do a little bit more. BAs won't do a lot of report. We don't do too much writing. We gather requirements, we understand requirements. All I just need to do is to interpret my requirements in some deliverables that make sense. For the project manager to define the project, yeah, to set all the tasks, and for the technical guys, they can deliver whatever task the project manager. So that's the BA. But PM then chases people up. You got to be that person that can stand with people and can make sure they do their job, but not harassing people. When I mean chasing people, you don't harass people. You got to get that good relationship with people. Building relationship, you don't start at once. You've got to understand how to please people, to influence, to use all the necessary skills that you have in terms of pleasing people, doing what they like, to draw their attention and to win their trust. Once you win a stakeholder's trust, trust me, you are a go-to kind of person. Anything they have, they come to you. Oh, Joe, can you help me with it? Even things that are not your responsibility. They rely so much on you, and that is what we do. That is what I encourage people to do. Now, sometimes you go extra mile out of your boundary a little bit, not too much. Don't let it impact your work, but it might be what you need to do to just gain influence, to get that person's influence, to build their trust, and for them to trust anything you say from that onward. They begin to trust it because you are doing what they like. You're listening to them. Again, you have to listen to people. Your listening ability is crucial. It's crucial. It's crucial. You have to listen very well, feel their pain, sympathize, empathize. Then you can put yourself in their shoe for you to make an appropriate decision. Right. Inform all stakeholders, access and monitor risks and projects and mitigate them. So your project will have risks and issues. Every project has risks. As you identify it, you note it down and you begin to just chase it up to mitigate the risk. We're going to look at how you manage risks and all the issues. And no project ever goes exactly as planned. No. Even your requirement as a BA doesn't stand the way it is from beginning to the end. Never. Your requirement changes. All your documents will be transiting from V0.1 as a draft to 0.2 to 0.3 as a draft. When it's signed up, becomes V1.0. From 1.0 becomes 2.0, 2.3. You find out sometime before you finish the project, I might move to version 4. That's why something is changing. Because every time something changes in your document, it's got to be updated. Even if it's a single line that changes, you got to update that. You got to cover yourself. That is a standard of project management. Documentation is crucial. Right. Next. Now, I did mention the other time, I said project manager manages, monitors, and control. These are the 3 constraints that surrounds the project. What a PM manages, what they monitor, and what they control is the scope of the project. That's the size, the goal, the requirements that the BAs have worked on, the time, the duration of every task. That task is meant to be done now and finished next week. Now, the project manager needs to stand on top of that. Yeah, needs to chase it up to make sure there are enough resources to do the task. Yeah, and The task is achievable within that time. So estimation is done initially at the beginning of the project. You're going to estimate. How do you estimate? Do you do it yourself? No. Subject matter expert, they do the estimation. Just like we are in the sprint, just like when you're running Agile, every sprint package is estimated. And with time, you build a sort of, a lot of technique we used to do that, but over the time, organizations can start to have a standard that, okay, you didn't know that task can be done in 3 weeks. Why? Because they've been doing similar tasks over and over again. So you're going to manage, monitor, and control the scope. You're going to manage, monitor, and control the time. You're going to manage, monitor, and control the resources and the money. Now, I put it into 3. The budget, the duration, and the resources. Your resources include that the people, includes your scope, and includes the equipment and the material, depending on the project you're working on. So 3 constraints. Now, project managers do 3 things on 3 things. That will help you to remember. There are 3 things they do on 3 constraints. Yeah, it helps you. Just the way I do sort of work with principals as well. So they manage, monitor, and control what? Your time, your budget, and your resources. So the project manager manage, monitor, and control the time. They manage, monitor, and control the resources. They manage, monitor, and control the budget. That is what you're sitting on top of as a PM. Now, that's the way you work as a PM that can use to sort of understand how you do all that. Now, any questions so far? We're going to have a break in 10 minutes. I still remember that. If there's any question, with your hand and drop it. I'm keeping my hand on top of that. Right, thank you. So on those 3 constraints, there are ways how it works. Now, someone is raising their hand. Who's that? Obialo Uto, do you want to talk? Can I just? Okay, let me just quickly unmute you and see if I can. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, you're not raising your hand again. I can't see you again, sorry. If you want to talk, please raise your hand so that I can see. Okay, all right. Can you unmute yourself? Right. Yeah, I'm listening. Hello? Okay, I can't hear anything. All right, I'll move on. If you have a question, please drop it on the question area. I can't hear anything. Please do that. Yeah, please. Okay, thank you very much, Obialo. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I can see your chat. Right. So, like I said, on project management, that those 3 constraints, there's a way we manage them. There's a way we manage them because what you find out is your time, your budget, and your resources. There's no way the 3 of them. I'll give you an example. Can you have a project now? Now, there's something I didn't mention. Inside the core of those 3 constraints is the quality of your work, never to be compromised. Please. Now, the quality of your work, there's no question about that. It's not something you can play with. There are 3 things you can play with. You can play with time, you can play with resources, and the money. You can't play with quality. Is the core. So inside your scope, I'll show you. I don't know which of the. I know I have it somewhere. Now you can see it on that slide. Inside the constraints you are working on, you're trying to manipulate or to manage, monitor. When you're managing, you're monitoring something deviating, you want to quickly control them, put them in order. And that's what it means. You're managing things, you're sitting on top of it. You're monitoring because you're keeping your eye. You got to focus on it. Make sure you don't deviate. Now, when you see something is changing, you got to control, put a control in place to really make sure they're in line. You don't want to miss out of quality. You don't want to miss out of the budget and your time and your deliverables and your deliverable date. Now, but those dates can move because they have tolerances. They're going to give you tolerance on budget. Try to keep it within the tolerance. They're going to give you tolerance on time. Try to keep it within the tolerance. But quality, nobody's going to ask you to jeopardize that. And please don't do that as a PM. So you can work on 3 constraints. So now, let's take this. If you want to have a quality product, there's no compromise on that. We're not compromising that. So, but you want to have it cheap, yeah, that's in terms of cost. You want to have it very quickly, that's in terms of time, and you want to have a good scope of it. You want to use the same number of resources you have. Is it now? You go to compromise. Oh, I want to build like I want to build Canada. You can't build. They always tell us that Rome wasn't built in a day. Now it's not like no matter now. It's just a figurative speak. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, you can't build something big within like that. There are things that takes time. Can you become a business analyst like that? You can, but not like that. There's time for it. Can you become a project manager like that? No, it's time for it. Now, you can't have it good, quickly, and cheap. No, you got to compromise something. If you want it good, yeah, now you can spend less money, but you got to give it enough time. You want me to do something for you very cheap, yeah, but you don't have, now you want to do something for you very cheap and you want a good quality. What I ask you, so you're compromising the money. So I'll give it to you cheap, but I won't compromise the quality, yeah, but the thing is, you're going to give me time. You can't have it tomorrow. Why? I need enough resources to do that. Take, for example, what takes 10 people to do? How long do you think it's going to take 2 people? You only have money to pay for 2 labor workers to do something. Now, if it's going to take 10 people 2 days to do, if you can hire 10 people, you spend more money, you have more resources, then you have it quickly. But you don't have enough money. As a project manager, the only thing that I'm going to ask you is how much is our budget on this? So when you tell me the budget, what do we need? I'm going to scale that out. Draw up a plan. When I draw my plan, based on our budget and when you want it finished, I'm going to show us that. Yeah, you see how a plan works. You draw up your plan based on the information you're given. We want it by this date. This is the number of money we have, so we can only hire these people. So you set your task to be finished on the date they've given you. You set your resources and the cost against each resource based on the budget you're given. There's a tool we're going to be using, which is MS Project. I'm going to show you that. It's going to give you a clear picture of where you're going. MS Project will tell you if it's doable or not. It will tell you how long it's going to take. That's what it's going to do, because they haven't given you time. They're giving you the finishing time. They're giving you the budget and the resources. MS Project will tell you, yeah, you can achieve it based on this. Then that is what you need to sit on as here. You have to now start monitoring that and managing. Things are going to change. Things will change along. You have got to put things under control. But from the inception, what I'll tell you is you have something, you want something good and fast. You can only have it good and fast. But if you have it good and fast, you can't have it cheap. Make sense? So you can have it good and fast, but it's not going to be cheap. Yeah, you got to compromise something. The business has to go, stakeholder has to compromise. You can have it good and cheap. Now, when you have it good and cheap, yeah, what you're compromising is the delivery. It's not going to be delivered fast. So you can't have it good and cheap and for it to be delivered like that. No, it's going to take more time than when it is good and expensive. Okay, the last one, you can have it good, cheap and fast. When you have it cheap and fast, then it won't be good. So which one do you want? That's the question there. As a PA, I'm going to ask you. You want it good and fast? Yes, if that is your requirement. I want it good and fast. Now I'm going to tell you at that point, if you want it good and fast, now it won't be cheap. You need to spend more money. You want it good and cheap? Now, when you want it good and cheap, then you can't have it quickly. It's going to take some time. Now, if you want it cheap and fast, then what it means is you're going to compromise the quality. Your product might not be that good. Now, a project manager sits on top of all those 3 things. 3 things on top of 3 things. Right? Success of a project. Project success must be within cost, delivered on time, and within scope. Just 3 constraints again. Now, I've got 3 minutes before I break. Then we mentioned the project team. That project manager consider the project team after a project is project is defined. A project team is a group of professionals committed to achieving a common goal. Project team comprises of 5 people. Anybody that is going to be helpful in that project. The project manager, the PA, the project support, the infrastructure team, the stakeholder, the project sponsor, or the product owner, all the development team. You can constitute a team to deliver that project. All those are the project team members. Now, why the project fail? Poor communication, disagreement, misunderstanding, bad weather, all sort of reasons why project fail. Now, we're going to be talking about some key definitions like stakeholder, and now we manage the stakeholder. I'll quickly start that so that after our break, we jump on that. Now, we mentioned yesterday with stakeholder is a person or an organization. It could be a supplier. A supplier is a stakeholder. So I'm working on a project. I've got XYZ Limited that's going to supply us the cable. Yeah, that's a stakeholder. All I need is from that stakeholder, I need a point of contact. Who do I speak to anytime I want to talk to them? XYZ is a stakeholder, but I need someone as the point of contact from that supplier. Yeah, so could be a stakeholder, or anybody that is actively involved in a project, yeah, whose interest may be positive or negative, affected by the execution or completion of the project. It can be a client, a user, end user, anybody. Don't ever underrate or underlook any stakeholder. I always say that some project managers, they don't identify stakeholder. I've worked with quite a few like that. They don't tend to understand the essence of having the end users as part of the project until the later part of the project, when they begin to see that, and the project will start running towards like maybe decline in terms of success at that point. Please don't make that mistake. Some roles within the project could be occupied. People may occupy 2 or 3 different roles. The project, for example, a business analyst could be a product owner. Sometimes a project manager may occupy another role within the project. Don't get it wrong. It might be the project lead on that, business lead on the project. It depends on their status within the hierarchical organization structure. The hierarchical structure of the organization. Yeah, if you look at the organogram, they're going to tell you what other role did they take in that project, in the organization. So that they are part of the project doesn't mean they can't do something else. So a stakeholder may be filling 2 roles. Yeah, I may be a business analyst, I might still be a project manager on the same project. Now, again, we're going to be dealing with stakeholder analysis right after our break. Any questions before we go on? I'll give us just 5 minutes for this one. The next one will be longer than that. But this one, we're coming back exactly 20:05. So in my own time, in 5 minutes, your time, just put it there. Exactly 5 minutes time, I'm going to start from the stakeholder analysis. Thank you. Right. So, you're welcome back, guys. So I'll continue from where we stopped. We're talking about stakeholder management. So I will define a stakeholder as that person that's involved in the project, who's interested positively or negatively, and they are affected by the completion of the project. So they constitute, the stakeholder includes anybody that you think will have a contribution in your project, or anybody that you think will be affected by the time you complete the project. I'll give you an example. Now, if the federal or if we're not in the federal, if the government wants to do a project near your exit or anywhere you live, you are a stakeholder in that project. Now, that's how far I go into details. Now, when I'm working on a project, I don't ignore anybody who is going to be affected by that project. The end users have a stake. They need to know what is coming on board, and they can have an input in that project. They can tell you how they want it to look. For an example, you want to build a house for retired people. You want to build a retirement home. Now, would you just build a home based on what you think that retired workers would like? Or would you rather include them and ask them, what would you like to have in this house? This project will bring for you. You are the target. Now, you will be the end user of this product by the time we complete it. Now, I would like to understand what you will be looking forward to seeing it. And I want to align that with the business objective. So I want to capture requirements from any sort of people that I think are related or be influenced or be affected by the project. And those are your stakeholders. Never leave anyone out, please. How do I identify the stakeholder? Now, they need to be identified as early as possible in the project to ensure a timely delivery. I can tell you a lot of projects that people ignore some stakeholders who think they don't matter. You are implementing an HR system for an organization. Now, you don't ignore any department. Now, you don't ignore even the data analysts, right? They might be interested one department might be interested in capturing some data, because it might be used for them for some reporting purposes. I've been in some project like that. By the time the system was implemented, people were asking, oh, can we get this? Oh, yeah, we can't get that. We can't give you that. Why? We need it now. Because I told the person, you can still include these people from the inception. You should have asked them if system is going to be implemented. Now, it's an HR system. Now, it's not just for payroll workers or for payroll people. It's not just for people that are on board employees. No. It's for a lot of other departments. It's for a lot. So it's very good for us to be able to identify stakeholders. But the initial stage of identifying stakeholder is the project sponsor. So when you look at a project, you're starting a project, you know, who do I talk to? Check some documents. Any related project to that, go to the lesson length area within your project archive. Now, you pick a project from project archive, pick a similar project, go to the lesson length or any documentation of that similar project. You see some stakeholders, because the projects are related, you might have similar stakeholders. Now, if you can, the first place you should start is your business case. The likes of your business case, your project mandate, your project brief, project charter, the contract, whichever documents are sort of is applicable to you in that area. These are your first document when you're starting a project. The document will be in place. You will be able to identify a business lead, a project sponsor in that document. You might not mention a lot, or mention one person. That's the first point of contact. The first person you want to talk to, probably the project sponsor, the business lead. Now that person will then begin to tell you other people, no, yeah, go speak with that person, go speak to that person. No, that's the best person you know. No, I own the project anyway, but yeah, I've got a lot of things to know. I'm going to nominate that guy. So that's the person that's going to be business lead on that. So that's how you begin to flow down. By the time you begin to gather more requirements, to define the scope as a PA and as a PM, then you begin to understand more of the people you need to talk to. Another way of identifying stakeholders is business root analysis. We're going to go into that detail. Observation of shadowing. Now, when you kind of, it depends on the project. Some project may mean you need to go out and observe or shadow people before you initiate the project. Now, the person you're shadowing or observing will be your first point of contact to tell you more. If it's a process change, the business is having some sort of bottleneck in some processes, the processes are not really going on well. There are a lot of things you could look at. I mean, Six Sigma will teach us a lot of things about. That's a lot, another topic for another time. Now, it tells you how to really manage business processes and to identify areas that needs re-engineering to sort of make things better. So that's another way of identifying stakeholder. Organizational process access, business model canvas, or lesson learned. There are different documents that, or better still, why not ask? I always tell people, don't be afraid to ask. I'm new in an organization. You're giving me a project. I need to ask you, who do I talk to? I mean, I don't even know who is the head of HR yet. I'm still new. I don't know the head of infrastructure, the marketing, sales, or customer service yet. So if that project, oh, this who do I talk to? It's about customer service. Who is the head of customer service? You ask. It's not. It's the rule of the game. If you don't ask, in fact, you're not doing the right thing. That's what I would say. Now, I expect someone that is new somewhere to ask a lot of questions. That is what is set up with you as a BA or a PM, because you need to understand the business or the organization. Who is who? Who handles what? Who reports to who? You need to organize that. If there's some document that tells you that, you ask. That document, my first week in an organization is give me a lot of documents. I need to study organization and study organogram. I need to know who is where, who's the head of this, who's the head of that, what sort of how many department you have, who reports to who is aligned with my own department, kind of what department sort of intertwined with mine, and to understand all that. I need to study another thing about the system architecture, the system architectural diagram. What sort of system do you have? Maybe because of my multiple roles and responsibilities. I study all that and what systems you use, how the system communicates with each other. The system architecture organization will tell you all that. I can show you one. I actually did yesterday. It's like a solution design. It tells you every system and how they intertwine. You need all that as a PMO. When you identify stakeholders, they fall into 2x2 grid. Yeah. Some have high power, some have low power. Some have high interest, some have low interest. What we mean by power is influence. So it's like power against interest or influence against interest. Now, the most powerful person here is the person on the top right-hand corner. High power, well, I won't really say now, he is the person on the top left. It's as high power, he has low interest. He's the most influential, he's not interested. They're not users. Now, people that have interest are the end users. Most of them are end users. Now, they have power. Now, I'll put them in, I'll put them in two contexts. Now, all the stakeholders of the company, they don't work. Yeah, people that hold stake, like shareholders. I mean to say, the shareholders, they consider the company, they're the one that invest in the company. Yeah, they want all the money you're spending, the contract, the money they're paying for the contract, your salary. Those are the people that owns the money. As far as well, the business is concerned, it's their money or the business owner. Now, but you don't see them on ground. They don't even have offices. Some of them are, they just put one as a chairman. He only comes once in a while just to oversee things and see how they're running, and he moves out. Now, before you implement a project in that company, what interests him is the money he's going to get out of that project. He's not going to use it, most likely. So he has no interest in that. What interests him is that the project is successful, but he has very high interest. He can ask you to stop. You have to keep them satisfied. They have to be satisfied. Most important. Very satisfied. The next to them is the people on the top right. They manage closely. They have high stake. It's like the MD of the company. He's not the company owner, but he works in the company. He has the highest power as far as the industry organization is concerned. Now, the people on the top left doesn't work there, but they have the highest power. But the guy who's working there is going to eventually use that HR system you are introducing. He's going to use it. He's going to be part of the users. Now, because his detail will be there as well. But as far as the organogram is concerned, for the executive workers, is the most powerful. Now, it's just an example I'm giving. There are a lot of people that fall under that category. To manage them closely. Manage them closely. They have high interest in the success of that, and they have high power. Next set of people is the people on the bottom left-hand corner. Monitor. No interest, no influence. They can't stop you. What I mean interest is that people that have power to say stop. Now, the government of every country at the moment, they say, you know what? Lockdown. And did you question that? You can revolt against it, but the thing is, you just have to listen sometimes. That's interest. That's interest. High power. When they say stop, it's stop. So when they say stop that project, we're going to stop that project now. It doesn't matter how much they spend. And when they say stop, it's stop. When they see what you're doing is all right, they say stop. You don't question them. That's those are people on top. Keep them satisfied and manage closely. Now, when you are doing your analysis as a BA and PM, this is related to business analysis and project managers. You got to identify if you're working with 3 people, what category do they fall? Now, people on the bottom left, those are people that have low interest, low influence or power. Now, example is that supplier. You know, those non-skilled workers or people that like you're working on a site You have some sort of non-skilled worker. There's a security guy that guides the equipment or blah, blah. You understand that there are people that clean the compound. There are suppliers that bring in cables and sand and gravel and the computer and the accessories and those infrastructure components to execute your project. They have low interest and low influence. You've got to monitor them. They can disappoint you. That's what I'm trying to say. Those people can disappoint. If a supplier tells you, no, don't worry, I'll deliver in 2 weeks time. Please make it that plan on your plan for that project. If it's somebody you don't trust, put that plan on your task duration, make it 4 weeks. Don't manage them close. Now, what I mean is put it 2 weeks because they're going to deliver, but put some tolerance there, please. Now, then regularly, when I mean monitor is on a regular basis. Be in touch. Hello, hope you haven't forgotten. Especially in 10 days time. Now, not even 2 hours. 10 days time, you're delivering that. Okay, fine. And after that, I'll call you. Oh, hope you're not forgetting. We need that thing desperately in 10 days. Oh, you're keeping on top of it. That's the category of form. The people on the bottom right hand corner keep informed. High interest, low influence for power. They are the end users. Simply put, those are the end users. They are interested in that deliverable, deliverables you're bringing on board, but they have no influence or power on it. But they are the real people that will use it. Keep them informed, please. Keep them in the loop. If they don't like your product at the end of the day, well, I don't know if the objectives will be met. I don't know if it's going to be met. They got to like it so that they can use it, so that it fulfills the real objective of the business, which is the high level requirement from the BA or the project objectives from the PM point of view. I believe you understand that. Very crucial for PAs and PM. The stakeholder engagement is very, very important. I mentioned how you're going to identify them. There's some issue with stakeholders. You're going to find a lot of them don't understand. They tell you things they don't really know. They have an idea. So sometimes you need to ask them a lot of questions to define the scope of the project. And sometimes you send them an email. It takes time before they respond to you. Keep on top of the game. You've got to define when you're doing your stakeholder analysis. Now, what I mean by that, let me just quickly point out, is identify the category each person you're going to be working with first. Is it on the top left, or top right, or bottom left, or bottom right? There are different ways you're going to handle them, and that's just a pointer you have there on how to manage them. Each one has to have a communication plan. Where are they based? Are they co-located? Are they offshore? Is it someone you can call on the phone? Is it someone that is busy every day of the week and only free on Fridays? There are people like that. You got to understand each one. Your meeting with the director is on the top right-hand corner. It's part of the stakeholder. It's part of the people that will give you a requirement or that you're going to be meeting on a regular basis for the project you're working on. You got to ask his PA, how can I get in? When is the best time? Or they'll tell you, oh, some people they'll tell you, best time to get in, best time to get Mr. A is on a Wednesday between 12 and 1. I'm telling you, he's always free at that time. Any other day will be after 2 p.m. on Friday. So you need all those information, part of your stakeholder analysis. Each one identified a communication plan and approach defined for each. That makes you keep on top of it again. If not, you just can't call people anytime, anyhow. You can't just ring them or send email and expect them to respond. No, you got to understand some people are not communicable. They're incommunicable via telephone. If you ring them from now to tomorrow, they won't answer you. Send them an email, they will respond. There are people I've worked with, send them an email. The reason is their inbox is about 500 emails. Your email will be lost. Within 2 hours, they get about 50 emails. So by the time they see yours, it's already down the list. That's how busy they are. Now, best way sometimes to contact some people is just to be able to understand people like that. So that you define the best way to contact them. Some people I contact via Skype. Only way I communicate with them is Skype. Some people via Microsoft Teams. There are a lot of applications like we talked about yesterday, tools you can use. Some people only phone. So there are various now, all those communication plans, and that's part of communication skills. You got to know the best approach to communicate the right information at the right time. So I want to pass on this information out. What is the best communication medium to use? Do I send like a report? Do I create information and circulate to everybody? Do I set a meeting to inform people of that? Do I send an email? Do I set up a group on Microsoft Teams or on Skype or on any project management tool you're using on Jira, on Confluence, on Basecamp? Do I set up a project team on that so that we communicate across? Everyone is included. There are various things we need to understand. We're going to the nitty of that, going to the full length of the course. Anyway, stakeholder management, very important. I just needed to explain that properly. Now, along the line I mentioned yesterday, there are conflict in not really disagreement, mixed ideas, like conflict of ideas. I have an idea, you have a different one. I have a belief that we should use this approach to implement that project. Well, one of the stakeholders has a different approach because he's so much interested. No, this I wanted to deal with Joe. Joe, you know what? I wanted to do this before. This is my job as a PM, as a PA. And I'm trying to convince some stakeholders we can call them very stubborn. Even during interview, they do ask that, how do you deal with a difficult stakeholder? If I've been asked not once, not twice, it's a very important question. I'll deal with it when we get to the point along the line in the course sometime for those of us that are interested, because you will have difficult stakeholders. They won't act more than 10 minutes. Anytime you want me to 10 minutes, 10 minutes. But 10 minutes is not enough for what I need. But I need to succeed in my project. But it's a stakeholder, but I want to know how to manage. That's it. You have people like that. You're going to mix them. You're going to mix them. So now, conflict of ideas to come. How do you resolve conflicts? There are 5 different conflict resolution approaches which we're going to deal with when we go to the time. It's just an eye-opener for you. Be able to manage conflict between yourself and your project team members. It could happen between the BA and the PM. It could happen between the BA and the developer, between the PM and the developer, between the PM and the business. It could happen anywhere. Not that you're arguing, but you just have different ideas of approach to things. There's the way the business wants it. There's the way the developer thinks it should be done. Now, where do you sit as a project manager? Do you sit on the side of the business or developers that will implement to say this is the best way? Now, you got to be able to resolve that as a project manager to make both sides see the best approach. Now, again, at the core of that is the quality of the job. So forget sentiments. Like, I like this person, so I'm going to go and say, no, that is not your job. Don't even think of it. The core of your responsibility is not who you're used to. Maybe you have coffee together and you're not used to this guy. Its focus is on your project, please. The success of the project. Now, the person I'm used to may be the wrong person. I've got to be able to confront and say boldly. And I don't confront, but I set up. There's a way we do all that. Confrontation might be the best. Yeah, I'm just an eye-opener is the best, but there's a way we go about it. Confrontation doesn't mean you go meet them. No, sorry, not like that. That's some of the things we're going to be learning along. I've mentioned communication on that, how you're going to communicate, why you're going to communicate, and when you're going to communicate. That's very crucial. I'm going to move on. And we've talked of scope yesterday. Scope are those boundaries, the boundary of the project. Imagine that board that you're seeing there. It has 4 corners. Yeah, anything outside those 4 corners is outside the scope. Now, anything you have is a scope. You have a scope. It's like anything outside your compound, you are overstepping your boundary. Now, in projects, when scope is defined via the requirement capture, you got to deliver whatever product or project you're working on in scope, and be able to identify what is out of scope for you. Now, I'll give you an example. I've asked you to furnish my house. Now, please, I've completed the house. I want to give you a project. Can you please help me furnish the house? Now, as a B or a PM, first question you ask me is, when you mean furnish, what do you mean? You got to clarify things. Don't think you assume. Don't think you understand. Don't assume you know. I'm telling you. Now, because I've worked with people that some stakeholders, they think very high, and the way they communicate to me is too high. You think you understand, you don't. Break it down, please. Despise ambiguities, please. Right? So a scope is a scope. Try to clarify it. Furnish my house. I ask, what do you mean by furnishing? I mean furnish, like buy furniture. Okay. Do you mean your entire house? No, just my living room. See why I would have gone wrong. And I'm going to furnish everywhere. No, I mean just the living room. No, don't worry about upstairs. I don't worry about the bedroom. Just the living room. Now, the guy thought you understand that furniture in the living room alone, but you didn't. So you got to ask to understand. So out of scope is, so when I'm developing my scope of work, for that kind of thing. So I'm going to be furnishing your house, just to clarify, be furnishing the living room, be providing this and this and that. That's in scope. Out of scope, furnishing of bedroom is out of scope, furnishing of kitchen, of the study room, blah, blah, out of scope. So I know what I'm supposed to do. That's covered. I'm covered. In the future, if something goes wrong, they'll be like, Joe furnished that house. No, that's the document. I only furnished the living room. Something is going wrong in the bedroom. I didn't do that job. It's in my document. It was out of scope for me, in scope for somebody else. So scope is either in scope or out of scope. Scope will define anything outside of your in scope is not scope for creeping. I defined it yesterday. Scope creeping is when you go outside. There are different reasons why people scope creep. You want to impress people, or you don't understand what they want. You may think you understand, or you don't understand. When you're delivering, you're scope creeping already. Scope creeping is a bad thing. The lack of proper initial identification of what is required. You don't understand the objective, you don't understand the project as a project manager, you read the project brief, the project mandate, you read the project charter, you read the business case, you read the contract, you didn't understand, but you are afraid to ask. You're a bad project manager. Sorry. They always tell me there's nothing like a bad project, but there is one. There is, yeah. You don't want to be one, right? So you've got to make sure you understand, just as a VA as well. A weak project manager or executive sponsor. So that's similar to what I said. A weak project manager, which I call bad, is the one that won't clarify things, or executive sponsor is someone that can't really deliver exactly what the business wants. Poor communication could do that. That's how essential communication is, or not identifying the right stakeholder. If you miss a stakeholder, it could be scope creeping as well. All those are important. The stakeholder, the communication, very important. Able to understand what you want. It's just like a VA as well. Capture requirement, make sure it's clear and you understand, and they read it over and over again. Capture requirements. Now, when you get back to your desk, document it, package it, send it out for review. So you circulate it, everybody on your project. That's a project review board. Yeah, and all the stakeholders need to read. So I'll tell you guys, we had a meeting yesterday. This is the outcome of our meeting. You mentioned this and this is wrong. Could you please read and confirm that I'm right? Then you come back, oh no, Joe, that's wrong. Joe, that's wrong. Joe, could you please change that? I'll update version 0.2. Could you please confirm? Now they come back, oh, that's fine now. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, fine. Now I'll ask them, could you please send me just a line that, yeah, I'm approving that. They're signing their life out. That's it. You have to sign your life out. So if not, something happens in the future, we are all going to be sacked. And that's how it happens. If something goes on that project, not just you, even the director that signed that document is going to be sacked. Simple as that. So that's how secure our job is. Make sure every document you do is signed. There's a sign-off state for every document. If it takes 4 weeks to sign up a document, I'm going to sit there like that until you sign up. Project stands still until my document is signed up. You will ask me, what's happening? Well, I've circulated the document. Now, you don't circulate now. That's the point where project management comes to your project support or the PMO analyst does for that. They govern the structure of the project, documentation, the standard. They release the new version. You update, you send it to them. They circulate. So they capture all the feedback. They revert back to you as a PM, as a BA. So the PMO, the PSO, they return all the. So I always give them the document, guys. I'm sending the document, send it to everybody on the review list step. So they identify the people that they send it to them. They then set it as target. It's a prioritized. We only circulate over 7 days max. So it's got to be returned back within 7 days. And they begin to chase it for you. So as a PM, you manage, monitor, and control. Yeah. Now, as a PMO, you can do the same because you're chasing up documents. So that's why I say you don't need more experience to go moving. You could be a project support guy. You're already standardizing the structure of the organization project. You know more about it. You just to build your experience up and your confidence up to become a PM. Right. For preparing, I believe you understand. Yeah, in 3 minutes, I should be jumping onto something else. So again, I mentioned yesterday what requirements are. I can see it again. The capability that the program must possess to satisfy a customer need. So I need a 10 by 12 by 12 feet room. I want my bedroom to be 20 feet by 20 feet. That's a requirement. When you're delivering it, you must make that room 20 by 20. It's that capability to possess. Now, that is what will satisfy me. Everything people tell you, that's what they need. Oh, I need this, I need that. Oh, I want this, I want that. That's the requirement. Right? Please remember the housekeeping. Please mute yourself if you have like destruction of background. Right. So that's what we call requirements, by the way. Right. Type of requirement. Right. Good. Type of requirement, like I said, mentioned the other time. The overall requirement, what the project is all about, is the business requirement. That is the objective. We call it high-level requirements sometimes. Yeah. So that's the type of requirement. So when I hear, oh, what do you want as a business? When I'm asking the business owner, what does he want? That's the business requirement. That's the type. So when I'm documenting and I'm putting requirement type, the type for that first line high-level requirement there is a business requirement. Now anything outside that will be other types. So people can give you a requirement. So there's something the business wants. There are things to fulfill what the business wants their sales to increase by whatever percent so that they can have 20% profit increase by Q3 2020. That's a business requirement. That's a business need. That's the objective of anything you want to do, is to increase the profit by 20% by Q3 of 2020. You have to chase it and make. How would you do that? Now, you need people within that board. Maybe you need sales department, you need a customer service, you need a marketing department, you need a multi-channel department. How do they promote or social media or multi-channel does all that anyway? How do they promote this on social media? How can we push people to see our product? So now all those people now, they will have their requirements. So you begin to identify people that will contribute to that project. That's how you run it. Now, those people will have things they need as well. Oh, sales to tell you, oh, yeah, no, to be able to increase our sales, we're going to need this, a new system. Now, you understand that? Now we're breaking it down. So sales now, oh, we need to add a new feature to our Salesforce, blah, 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 blah. Marketing, we have what they need. Now, you're moving down to stakeholder requirement, users requirement. Now, anything they tell you could then be two things. It could be a functional requirement or a non-functional requirement. So on the general note, there are all sort of different types of requirements, but there are three high-level requirements: the business, the functional, the non-functional. Any requirement that comes from people is either functional or non-functional. Requirement may not come from people. Requirement will come from the system. Now, the system they said they need will have a requirement as well. I'll give you an example. You want to install a software. Software will tell you they need also capacity of your memory. Your Windows has to be Windows 10. It has to be this and that. Those are system requirements. Without those requirements fulfilled, that software will not work on your architecture. So the basis of your architecture must be ready to accept some project. Now, not in all cases, but all the things we identify on any project you're working on. I'm telling you, requirements may come from the business, they come from people. Your system may have some requirements as well. If you have system-related projects, if the project has to do with designing or developing or implementing or integrating a system, those systems will have something they need to fulfill what the business wants. So a system requirement, a stakeholder user requirement could be functional or non-functional. What's the difference between the two? Business requirements is a business requirement. What's the difference? A system requirement, a functional requirement, they are, I'll just simplify it. Don't read too much. They are requirements that does something. They perform an action. So I'll give you a layman language. Yeah, they perform an action. When you use the requirement, they do something. So it's about technical requirement that does some technical functionalities. Or it doesn't have to be too technical, but it does something. It is to perform an action. Now, a non-functional requirement, it's about the security. It's about the security, sometimes the performance ability, the durability, the component, the look and feel of your system. Layman example again, in your house, you have a door that opens the door, that enters the house. Without the door, there is no prevention of entrance into the house. It's a functional. So a house, having a door is a functional requirement. So door in the house is a functional requirement to that house. So when I'm building a house, I tell you I need a gate. It's because I don't want people to just enter anyhow. It's doing something, preventing people from entry. That's the functional. But I want my gate to be black. Does it really matter? What if it's red? Who does it help? It's just a look and feel. That is non-functional. Now, it's still got to be implemented, but that's a non-functional requirement. Color of your house, how fantastic it looks, the roof is like that. All those are non-functional. It does nothing. It's just a look and feel of the system. That's an example that just to differentiate between the two. So when you're working on system, you see that, oh, yeah, we want 20 people to be able to log in at once. I want the system to have the logo on the left. I want it to be color blue and white. My website, those are, some of them are not functional. But I want that button that when I click on that button, it takes me to the career stage. That's the functional requirement. That button performs an action. If you click on it, it does something. That's the functional requirement. Yeah. So again, we're going to go into detail of that later. There are various types of requirements I might be going into. Again, requirement is a need. Anything anybody tells you they want. It's either a business requirement or a system requirement, which will be functional or non-functional, or a user's requirement, which should be functional or non-functional. So I'm breaking it down into three. So where it's coming from people or system, it's functional or non-functional. If it's coming from business, it's business, because it's a business objective. For now, yeah, anything deeper than that, I will take it to another level. But just keep those three for now. And again, that's essential for business analysts, much more than PMs. That's a BA. BAs have to know that. The reason why I'm saying that is 90% probability that you're going to face that in an interview. I guarantee you, especially in the elementary one. Those are the basic questions. If you can't answer, in fact, they won't. In fact, they can ask you to go on from there, right there and there. But if you don't know what's the requirement, what types of requirement we have, you're not a BA. Come on, man. There's no point taking it for that. Because your core responsibility is to gather requirements. How come you won't know what the requirement you're coming to gather is? That's the work of a BA. In fact, it looks like that's the only thing you are recruited for. When a project is about to start, they be like, oh, we need a BA to gather requirements. That's your job. So you need to know what your requirement is, how many types of requirements you have, how do you document requirement, and how do you translate the requirement to document. That's a BA end-to-end. Gather, document, translate, and support. That's it. That's the job. Nothing more. For a PM, we now take that to define a project. Now break the project into phases and tasks. Yeah, assign resources to it and set budget for each resource. Now set a baseline, get the business to agree with that budget. Now keep in a baseline and start managing, monitor, and control it. That's not all. That's not responsibility. Every week they now need to write a report. They now have to keep on top of the game. Start chasing people that they're doing something. Yeah, get the flow of it. Right. I'll move a little bit further. The current engineering process, we've done all that yesterday. Some sort of documentation you could do as a VA, I included there. Some of the things you could do, I've just quickly go that is, you run the requirement workshop, that's the flow of the requirement engineering process. Run a workshop. Now, when you run a workshop, my way of teaching people is this. Imagine me telling you to build a house for me. If you can't see it here, you can't deliver it. Now, so when I'm teaching or mentoring or coaching people, I want you to grab the concept. Forget the 2 plus 2 is 2. You understand the addition concept. If I give you tomorrow 20.5 plus 10.6, you will give me the answer. Why? You understand the concept. If all you do is you know 2 plus 2, if I give you 10 plus 8, you may not know it. So get the concept. Your job, gather requirements, document requirements, translate it, then you monitor. Now, how do you do that? You run workshops. When you run workshops, when people are telling you what they want, picture it here. You should be able to conceptualize it. Now, if you can't conceptualize something, how do you want to put a solution down? Now, you don't need the final solution from the beginning, but you need to understand. Conceptualizing it, I understand, I grab a picture of what you want, but I'm going to look for a way to break it down. Now, when I'm looking for a way, is meeting with subject matter experts in areas that will help me to define how we're going to solve that problem. The BA is to understand what the problem is first. Then you look for people to help you to solve it. You then document it, some for the business, some for the people that will solve it. And that's your job. Okay? So mind mapping is like conceptualizing it. There's a tool for that on Visio and all other tools. Yeah, you can mind map and sketch it. Yeah. Now, when you mind map and you can develop your catalog, which is your VRD. Then you begin to translate into either the use case, the user story, the epic story was a big project. The epic, you break it down to user story. User story comes in 2 formats. The user story syntax, there's getting syntax. You don't need that now. The process flow diagram, these are options, by the way. You don't do all. You either do which one relates to your project. After your requirement catalog, the use case, epic, user, it depends on the project you're working on. And that is one of the things I drive people to understand. Understanding per project type, process change, business change management project, software development project, any sort of project. You should be able, as a BA, when they wake you up, you can tell what deliverables they need for that. And that is one of the things so these are all sort of deliverables you can have as a PM or as a BA. Now, baseline, I've mentioned it the other time, that's for PMs. When everything is agreed on your plan, you set a baseline. A baseline is like a baseline. That's the standard you are measuring everything against. Yeah? All right. When I mean a baseline, it's like, let's draw a line. So I draw a line, bring my baseline, yeah, and I'll set up a plan. At the time I'm setting the baseline, that's my plan. My plan is the line blue, the blue line. Now the baseline is a green line when I set it. So the baseline and my plan are the match. Yeah, the match, because at that point, I've set up the plan, I've set up the resources, I've set up the budget. As I see fit, the estimate for each task has been done because I've met with people that will deliver it. Now, I've met with the developer, I'm working on software, I've met with the Oracle team, I've met with the Java team, the HTML, the COBOL team, the whatever sort of team you have. They've told me, I've given them that time, you're going to be doing this for how long is it going to take you? Oh, that's a 3 weeks. So, okay, fine. Could you do it in 2 weeks? I just want to negotiate to make sure I meet up with the deadline. So, while we're on now, we can't do it 2 weeks. That's why we only got 2 people to do the job. Now, it's going to take them 2 weeks. And I've assigned another person. They'll tell you what sort of thing. Based on the resources they have, how long is it going to take? Now, you have to be able to manage as a PM. You put that in your plan. When you draw your plan, everything I agree, print up the page. I'll show you that later. Show the business. Everybody agrees that I set a baseline. It looks like that. But as I go on around the project, I'm telling you something like this going to happen. You see that blue line? It's going to be turning like that, going out of line, or you go like that. So you're going to see a lot of deviations in your plan as against the baseline, which is the green. And that's what helps you to monitor, to keep track. Without that, you won't know something is going on. And that's the truth for the MS project will do all that for you. You can know per time, oh, that project, because you already set the time. It's automated, MS project monitors all that. All I need to do is just keep checking. And I say, oh yeah, that task is running out. I'm going to chase that person out. That's what helps you to manage, monitor, and control. Those are tools you use, control tools. Yeah, we're going to mention that at some point. Just for you to understand baseline, that's what a baseline is. You set it as a standard. It's a point of reference for everything you are managing, your scope, your time, your budget, everything. Right. Change, things are about to change. Like I said, things are going to change. Your baseline will be, there'll be a lot of variance there. But how do you manage change? There's a process to managing change. I won't go too much into that for now. Just know there's a change management process. Pretty much, let me just quickly mention, when a request for change comes, anything could change, a resource could change, time could change, budget could change. The change request will come, yeah. But before you do that, you receive a plan. You want the person to be specific as possible of what they want. That's what they change. Maybe the business is changing something out in terms of their requirement. They be specific. Then you then raise a document. Yeah. Now you need to raise a change request document as a PM. Now I'll show you all that. Let me just quickly flip. Why I just remember now. You can see. I don't know if you can see my screen. Just hold on a minute. I don't know if it's going to come up. Something is coming up now. You can see a list of some Word documents here. Yeah. That thing you're seeing are all project management documentation. You pick out each one per time. I'll tell you, that's the configuration. That's let me see. Configuration strategy, endpoint exceptional, communication document, checkpoint. Maybe I won't add that one here. There's one, okay, quality management strategy, that one is there, risk management. Anyway, I'm going to show you that later. There's a document called change management, change request rather. There's a change request document you're going to raise, yeah? Raise the change request document. That's, I'm telling you the process. So something is changing, you don't just change. There's a process to follow. Verify from the source, the validity or the necessity of that change, yeah? You have to, then when you're doing all that, there's going to be some impact assessment at the end of the day anyway. Assess the priority of the change request, do some impact assessment on that. Then when everything is all right, it's not going to impact any part of any external system outside of the project. It's going to impact the project negatively. It's essential. So I validate first. It's really needed. I raise the request. Request is going to be assessed, going to prioritize. Then it's going to be impact assessed. And when that is done, then when you assess the change, then you can now decide the course of action. Just verify processes. Verify is needed. Raise the request. Prioritize it, yeah. Must we do it? Does it really impact us? Like, we need to do it now, or we could do it later, or you know what, we don't really need it. Then you do all the assessment, the prioritization assessment. That's a technique for BAs and for PMs as well. Again, you do your impact assessment as BAs and PM. It's very crucial as well for us. You need to understand that. Then when the impact assessment is done, then you get a tick that yes, fine, you can do it. Doesn't affect any other person because some changes could affect people if they're not impact assessed. You may break another system. The care is not taken. So you've got to take you've got to be cautious. Take as much care as possible so that you check everything you need to check. And that's why you need all this knowledge. And not just need it, you need to practice it. You need someone to guide you to understand it. Pretty much on some simple and complex project. And your skill set kind of improves like that. You don't just start like that from day one. You've got to build it gradually, move in there. Then the moment you begin to work, then you're there already. Or yeah, anyway, that's it. The rework is when a project fails or it doesn't fail, you don't understand what's going on. Imagine you're giving someone to do something for you, they didn't understand it, they've gone to do something else. By the time you see, oh, that's not what I want, it's a rework. You have to pull the whole thing down and redo it again. Risk, we've mentioned risk as well. Risk is got to be assessed. Is it a quantitative risk or a qualitative risk? Anyway, yeah, so one thing you're going to be doing on risk is risk can either be a threat. If it's a threat to you, then you avoid it. Now, you do three things. Try to avoid it. If you can't avoid it, you reduce it. If you can't reduce it, you accept it. There are people that manage that. So if I see a risk as a threat, I try as soon as the first mitigation plan is to avoid it. But sometimes not all risks will be avoided. We just have to, you know what, it's going to face it anyway. Now, can you avoid COVID-19? You can't. You just have to reduce the impact. You can't avoid it. It's a risk, it's a risk. It's not avoidable, but you've got to reduce it. And people that can't reduce it, they will accept it. Accepting it means then when you accept a risk, there are other things that will happen. You could raise, now you can accept a risk. Sometimes it could pose as an opportunity for you. Yeah, a risk when accepted means you're accepting it, doesn't really mean you're like, now you then try to, no, I can't avoid it, so it's going to happen. Now I try to reject it I say reject, to try to reduce it. it can be reduced, then I try to accept it. When I'm accepting, I'm changing things from my own end. I'm changing things around me so it doesn't have too much impact on me, on the business. So that's what risk does. Risk can either affect you, try to avoid it, try to reduce it. If you can't reduce it, the last option you have, I just have to accept it. Then there are changes you have to make in-house to make sure it doesn't have too much impact on the business. Yeah, a risk businesses can reduce is the impact of COVID on their cash flow. And the only way they've been able to accept in some countries, government is helped, and they've got to put things in place. Sometimes they lay off staffs, sometimes they make staff redundant. A lot of bad things will happen, but or sometimes not bad, hopefully, but they got to make a plan to accept it that it won't negatively affect them. Just an example. A risk could be an opportunity, you exploit the opportunity, you enhance it, you share it, or you reject it. Again, we'll go into detail of that later. Risk is got to be managed. Assumptions are circumstances or event that needs to occur for the project to be. Every project has an assumption. You've got to identify the assumptions, that are in place. The assumption, okay, you told me to help you build a house. Assumption for me from day one on my document is that you have a land anyway. So the assumption is that you have. So based on the surrounding your project, a lot of assumptions. I have to identify it. So a PM does documentation. I can't overemphasize that. In your PID, there's a section there that tells you assumptions. Now, sometimes you can't just sit down and think, but you got to then consult a lot of maybe people, documentation, via meeting with stakeholders, to know some prerequisites to delivering that project. Things that are not included in your scope. The assumption is that they are in place. You've asked me to help you install the software. Assumption is that you have the right operating system to install the software, because it's not in scope for me. You didn't tell me to upgrade the software, but that's the operating system. Your OS, I don't know about it, but you want me to install Microsoft Visio for you, but Microsoft Visio has a requirement. It has minimal, it has a set of requirements as to what platform is going into. Now, my assumption is that when I'm coming to you, I've already right side my scope of work. I'm assuming you have the right operating system. So in case my installation fails, it's not my fault. I've written down the assumption. I believe you have it. So now, but where I come, I must have given you the document to read, including the assumptions, and you can now flag it to me that, oh, sorry, I don't have that. Okay, now our scope is changing. So you want me to install operating system for you now. Now, scope of what is going to change. Your budget, it's got to increase because the cost is not going up. So we'll go to that. Then constraints as well. Constraints are things that have to be in place. An example, you're working on a project, and on that project, you are expecting a supplier to bring something on board for you. Supplier is going to be late. You put a constraint down that there's a late, you're expecting a late delivery or whatever. So constraints are things that might restrict or limit or regulate a project. Something that may limit your output, something that may reduce your output. You've got to flag it as well. Now, work governance structure is what I was saying earlier from the project. Definition, objective, breaking down into phases. Work governance structure are those hierarchical structure of tasks that needs to be done by what each task can. A project phase can have multiple tasks. Each task can have subtasks, and that constitutes your work governance like an hierarchical structure. And that's how you look on the screen. Task 1, task 2, task 1 to 1.1 or 1.1.1. It could flow down all the way, and each of those constitute your tasks. Maybe each one will be delivered by different people, and that's what makes up the whole plan eventually. Again, I've talked about estimate. Estimate is like just a round sort of duration that's going to take a task to be fulfilled. It's an estimate. It's about to change. Dependency are the connection between your tasks. So a task will be dependent on another. So some tasks can't be started. You can't start something until now. Can you start roofing from day one when you're building a house? No. So roofing depends on a lot of things. Even decking depends on that. The same way, a child can't be born today and start going to school the same day. There are a lot of dependencies. So something has to be done before the other is done. Or sometimes some tasks can be done concurrently, start to start, or start to finish. This has to finish to start, rather. This has to finish before this one starts, or start to finish. This one has to start, before this one can finish. So if a task is going on, before this can finish, another one has to start. So there's a lot of dependencies you're going to find out when we jump on it later. Of course, the schedule is your time. The critical part, very important. I've drawn that up for you. The red part here is my critical part. When I draw up a plan, I set a baseline. Now, when my plan is deviating from the baseline, it's going to highlight some red on your project plan. It's going to look like this. And those are your critical part. Critical part means the part. So if you're not a connected task, that will take the longest route. So you can identify it. If you say that takes 2 days plus 5 days plus 5 days plus 5 days. So now, from Then where the red starts, now MS projects actually helps to identify it. But in case not, you can add all your tasks as they are connected from end to end and see which route takes the longest. I'll give you an example. Design to the one on top to specify XML, that's the part, to the top part. There's a middle part. Design to design test cases and all that, that's another part. There's another part below to design to develop, to make infrastructure, and that's a different part. Now, if you add the number of durations together, like the middle part, 2 + 1 + 2 + 2, that gives you 7. Yeah. If you add the top part, I'll show you now, 2 + 5 + 10, now that's already more than 7. So let's not even add it again. Now the lower part, 2 + 2 + 1 + 2, that's 7. So my critical part is the one that takes the longest. That's what we mean. The one that takes the longest is the critical part. Now, why is critical is the part you should focus on. That is what could sort of delay your project. The one that takes, the lowest or the normal duration, don't focus too much on them. As a PM, you are managing, monitoring, and controlling. Focus more to monitor the critical part, the one that takes longer. Because if anything happens now, take for example, something happens on the one that takes 7 days. The task is delayed. You're still covered. Why? Your critical part takes longer anyway. It takes even longer than one task on your critical part, which is 10 days, developing XML file. So I need to focus on that to make sure there's no delay on the critical part. There might be delay on those 7 days. Fine, they are covered. If 7 days extends to 10 days, I'm still okay. You know why? I think critical part anyway, it's more than 10 days. So focus is that critical part is not end value. It's an approach to monitor, basically, to see if the project is on track. Basically, the end value is like the success of the project per time as you monitor it. Right. I'm going to move the quality. We talked about that. Lesson length. After every project, you go through what we call lesson length, like things you've done, now things you plan that's gone well, and things you plan that didn't go well. So the plan and plan basically. So there are some times you make a plan, yeah. Out of your plan, what are the things that went well? What are the things that didn't go well? So you create them like that. Now, some things along the line you didn't plan them, they just came like that. Now there are action you have to take based on your instinct per time, yeah. So those actions are unplanned tasks or planned actions. You didn't note them down, but there are things that you just respond to as they happen. Now, some of them you just, kind of decided just of a sudden, let's do this way, let's try this. Now, and it worked well. Take note of it. Yeah, unplanned that worked well, unplanned that didn't go well. You know how it's going to work out. So those things you planned well, that went well, and the unplanned that went well, merge them together. You should use them in your next project, not just for you, but people coming behind that will do similar projects. So that's a lesson length log or lesson length document. Our documents as PM we read a lot. If I'm doing a project now, I look through the project archive, I see a similar project. Any project that's similar, it doesn't have to be the same, similar to what I've done before. I pick that project and I read all the document. The first document I go to is the lesson length. I want to know what did they do, how did they achieve what they got? What are the good things they have to write? I need to start implementing that. I'll bring that on board. I need to do that as well. The things they didn't plan that went to, I'll bring that. And I try to avoid things they planned that didn't work well and the unplanned that didn't work. So I will avoid the bad side. I will adopt the good side as a PM. So we always read similar projects or any other projects lesson length. You're documenting it for your use and for other people's use. Right. Okay. I've got 7 minutes. In that 7 minutes, I'm going to do something before we go into this is going to take my last section of this. So I'll initiate something briefly, which will complete after our break. Any questions so far for now? I can see it. Is anybody asking questions? Let me quickly take time. Okay. Can someone wave your hand if you can hear me? I just need someone to just tell me they can hear me. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Someone did that. So, okay, so I'm people can hear me. Absolutely. Thank you. All right. So, any question for now? If you have any question, wave as well. Wave. Right. Okay. Now, don't just wait. There are a lot of people waiting. Just okay. Help me now. Help me. Drop me a question. If you have a question, just drop me. I have a question, so that I know who you are. I think that would help. Because I'm moving into a bit of practical. I just want to show. Then we'll go for a break. Then we'll come for the last session. In the last part of the session. Okay, so I'm not getting anybody having questions. Okay, cool. I'll still look out for that if I have anyone. Okay, at this point, what I'm going to show you is just a brief demonstration of what a project plan looks like and how you can use MS projects. Some of the tools you're going to be able to use includes, you should be able to use as a PM. You should be able to understand Microsoft Visio just like business analyst. Visio is this project, and I'll show you briefly. Just quickly do that. I'm not going to demonstrate anything on Visio. That's Visio for you. And one of the things you could do on Visio as a PM, I'll just show you. Let's say I want to create a new document, and I'm going to go to right on top there. Let's say business. That's a business category. Let's see. I'm not going to draw it. I just want to show us how it's going to take. So on the business category, you can see the brainstorming diagram I talked about the other time. It's got the mind mapping. There's a BPMN organizational charts. So you want to drop your organizational chart. You might need that as a project manager because that is, I want to create information that already exists on the database. You can import, or I want to enter through the wizard. So yeah, it gives you all that. I'm not going to do all that. Just go next. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Go on. Okay, let me just click A. Next. So it's going to open it for me, and basically it gives me like that format of an organizational whatever that I need. Just like you see it, you need it for your PID. It's our project information document. Now you need that organigram because it describes the part of the role of a project manager is to define roles and responsibilities. Yeah. So when you define roles, you need to tell us what's the structure, what's the hierarchical structure of that project. Who sits on top? Who reports to who? Where does the BA sit? Where does all the project team member, where do they sit on the project, basically? And you use Visio to do that. So I'm going to skip that and go to the MS project for now, because we're going to go into that detail later. So this is an example of a plan. Yeah, I'm considering an example of a plan for a business starter. It's got all the tasks set up. Yeah, and that's the task area. That is the Gantt chart area. That's where you track and monitor. That's your baseline. That line on top there. I don't know if you can see that. That's where my cursor is. That's the baseline. That's my plan. Yeah. Whenever there is a critical part, it's going to highlight in red. In this example, I've got no critical part, so everything flows down. So what I'm going to do is, maybe when we come back, I'm going to draw for us just a very simple plan. Again, that's one of the things you're going to be understanding, you're going to be learning if you come in with us full time. Okay, I can't understand this. Okay, thank you very much. Akoni Olayiwola, Maduka. Yes, Maduka Agweze. Is your earlier question in MS project a project management tool? I don't understand that. My earlier question in MS projects. Yes. Is your earlier question in MS projects the project management tool? Yes. If I get what you're saying right, I asked a question earlier and I said, have you used any project management tool? If you answered yes, that it's an example of project management tool I was talking about, but there's much more than that. If that's your question. If not, you can re-ask me again in the clearer form and I will understand that. Okay, so we're going to go on break in 2 minutes, but this MS project, yeah, when you want to create a plan, I'll just kickstart it. The first place you go to is project tab. It's not going to take too long, and project information. Now, the reason for that is you want to set first your project starting date. It's recognizing today as the start, but if I don't want to use today, I'll say my project is starting, say, on Monday the 13th. So that's the start. It's starting on Monday, on Monday the 14th. And that's what I need here. I click OK. So MS project understand when I want to start. Automatically, it picks that up for everything I do. It understands my start date. And based on the tasks that I set up, it's going to start on the day I already set. But it's going to finish depending on my estimates. And I don't want to try and adjust. As a PM, you want to try and work on your estimation and your duration with your SMEs, with your resource you have on ground to make sure, because the start date, you can't change it. They already have a starting date. But you want to make sure your tasks are deliverable between that date and the expected deliverable date for you. So that's the first thing you do. The next thing you do before we go on break, and we then come back to this. Go to the file, options. Under options, it comes on, you need to set some parameters. Display, and what you want to set here is, I'm in United Kingdom, so my symbol is pounds. Wherever you're working, make sure you choose the right currency and how you want it to be displayed. Yeah, you choose your currency here, you can find everything here. Set your parameters right so that MS Project understand when you're setting your budget, it picks your right currency. And that's pretty much what you need on that. Next, you go to the schedule. So when you want to schedule, what you want to pretty much look into that point is you want to check your working days. Yeah, the working days, the working time, and if it aligns with what MS Project understand. Now, it thinks every work starts on Monday. It thinks every working organization do 8 to 5. Yeah, and what it thinks is to do 40 hours per week. If anything applies to you, just make it suit your organization, basically. Yeah, if you work Monday, if your work starts on the Saturday, then you change it to Saturday. So that's the working starting. If your week starts on the Sunday, change it based on the project you're working on. And how many hours do they do a week? Is it 8 hours per day? Is it 12 hours? Change it as so. The one thing you need to take note of here is that please click the last option there to update tax status, resource status. Yeah, automatically update. It might not be ticked on yours. Check that, make sure it's ticked. Those are the 3 things you do here. Set your days, set your working days, start of the week, and all that. Make sure you tick that so that Microsoft Project understand and automatically updates your task. Because you set it, when someone is done 3 hours, it automatically updates it. They assigned 40 hours. When they do 3 hours, say they have 37 hours left to do. And if they've earned $100 out of $400 per day or per week, Microsoft Project will tell you they already have $100 there. You're due to pay them 3 more, still on them more. So he updates all that for you automatically. That's what. So if you've done that, you just click OK. Yeah, you click OK, and if you've done that, you click OK. You are on a good path to start right after our break. So this time around, please let's do another 5 minutes, beg you, so that we cover everything. And the plan is I want to finish before 10. I want to end everything by say 20 minutes to 10. The rest is if you have questions, if not, we round up. Please bear with me. 5 minutes break, we're back in exactly 5 minutes, and maybe for another 40 minutes max. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can drop it during your break. Drop it in the question area. I'll try as much as possible to answer. Okay, thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I believe it's 5 minutes or a little bit more. I was trying to answer some questions from everyone. I believe you've all seen the answers. If not, I will address them at some point. Now, someone asked me, I just mentioned that someone asked who, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I just want to make sure you cannot hear me. So now, like I said, someone asked, like, who, let me quickly, was asking about who implements a project. And I said to the person, the answer is it depends on the project you're working on. Who are the implementers? Who executes a project? It depends on the project you're working on. So project differs. I'm not a limited sort of resource person or a skillful person. I'm exposing also a project manager could work anywhere. You could work in a construction company, you could work in healthcare industry, you could work in a bank, you could work for a legal firm, you could work for an IT company, you could work for a school, you could work for a university, anywhere. Now, we heard yesterday some of one of my former trainees, I mean, currently she's a BA in a university. I mean, it doesn't matter where. So the environment, the project you're working on, determines the people that will implement the solution. So the example I gave you, working on the software, developers are the solution deliverers. You are a project manager on a building project. The people that will deliver your solution are the builders. So you're working in an healthcare industry, you're managing a project, who will be the implementer? It could be you are implementing an IT software. It could be you are implementing a process change. It could be within the organization. It could be something the business, sort of employee will do. One department could maybe what you call a customer service people that will deliver it. So it depends. That's part of you're identifying stakeholders, people that has input in the project. It's your responsibility to know how to identify that. And that's how about it. Let me see one other question that needs to be addressed there. I think that's about it. All other ones are answered. I'll look at more as we go along the line. If someone asks, are we supposed to open Excel? Yes, I think I need to address that. No, I'm not. The document you're seeing in front of you on the screen is not a Microsoft Excel. It's a Microsoft project. That's what it's called, MS project. It's for Microsoft project. So it looks like Excel, but it's not Excel. It's not MS Excel, it's Microsoft project. So if there's any tool you need as a BA, you need to know how to work on Excel. You could create your project plan in Excel, don't get me wrong, but Excel won't track it. You have to monitor it yourself. Yeah, it's not the tool for project plan. Now, you can create your task in Excel. You can create in anywhere. You can use anything you want. You can even list it to Microsoft, or depend on the organization. But as a set of rule, I sort of work on standard. I try to tell people to establish standard anywhere you have. You recommend it. This is the right tool for it. Yeah, it's not something they shouldn't be able to. It's not something they shouldn't be able to afford. Yeah, so you establish standard. I really recommend it. It's a tool for project management. Anyway, so now we move on. And where we're moving on is where do we stop? So we've set up our starting dates. We've adjusted the currency. We've adjusted we've kept the time. That's how we work Mondays. It's 40 hours a week. It's 8 to 5 every day. And then we ask the system to also update as we go along. The next area that we're going to be going to now is, let's see where we are. We're on projects. Because sometimes when you're on MS project, try to understand where you are at the time. See what view you are on, your down view, on your project view. Now within your project view, you're working on projects. So the next thing you want to look out for is where you have your calendar. Sometimes it may not be exactly where I'm going to see if you're not using my version. Yeah. So let's see what version I'm looking at here. Sorry. The calendar, that's not the calendar we're looking for. The calendar needs to have a view, a complete calendar view. Sorry. Project calendar, change working time. That's the one I'm looking for. That's what it's called there. So like I said, you got to be conversant with what you're working on. So that's what it's called on there. So what you want to check here is you want to check your working calendar. Like we said again, it's identify that we're doing 8 to 5. So now one of the things you have to look out for is telling you this is what it assumes. The assumption based on your setting is 8 to 12 people are going to be working, 12 to 1 they will be on break, and 1 to 5 they'll be working. Standard. If you change it, or if you need to change, you can go back from here to options. That's where we're coming from. Change whatever you need to change it if you don't agree with that. Yeah. If you agree with it, then continue on that. All you need to have a look at here is you notice that Saturdays and Sundays are grayed out. Yeah. Saturday is grayed out, Sunday is grayed out. The assumption is there's no work on that day. Yeah. There's no work on this particular day. It's even telling you it's not working day. If you're setting bank holidays, yeah, it doesn't understand it. Set 13th of April as a bank holiday. How do you do that? If you don't agree with anything there, what you do is you can set exceptions for working week. You can change your working week. Yeah, there's a default one, but you could change yours, or you could go to options again and change your working week here if you need to. Now, if there's any exception, 13 is not going to be a working day. Any exception that you're going to have, or people are going to be working on Saturdays. Exceptions mean they're not working every Saturday, but there are some Saturdays that will be working. Oh, yeah, I want people to come in because of the plan. We're running out of time. I need people to come in on extra overtime to come and do some extra work on the 18th, from 18th, every weekend, 18th till 26th. I got to set up an exception for that. And this is how I'm going to do that. I'll do that here. Yeah, set up exception from what date to what date and all that. Go into that detail later. I'm just going to show you how you work on creating project plan. We're not going to set any exception for this. Now, if you've done that and everything is okay, there's nothing to change. I'll just cancel that. There's something you just need to check to make sure you agree with the working day, the working hour. There's no exception for you, and you're not taking your working days per week. Now, if you've done that and you want to move on to we're still within the project tab. So you want to, one of the things you want to do is to set up the task. Now, everything is set, you want to start setting up the task. So assuming you want to set up a project, yeah, I want to start a project, I put a start. Just watch me as I do. Put start, you compare the tab on your laptop, that's the arrow down, the tab, it goes to the next line, you don't need to click. Start, I want to analyze. I'm just going to go to the project life cycle, for example. So we're going to analyze after we start, we're going to design, we're going to develop, then we test, then we deploy, then we finish. Right? That's what we want to do. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me take that out. Okay, so start from start, analyze, design, develop, test, finish. Okay, those are our tasks. Now, when you're setting up that, you note something, just note this area. You can see that task mode, that is course. Sorry, I need to set my reading, put my reading down. Sorry. Because I'm going to have to start clicking on this every time. I need to pin it. And it's on this side of my system. Let's pin down. Thanks. Cool. Right. Okay. So you're going to notice here, like you see all these icons, the task mode. Yeah. What a task mode is showing us. Don't worry, when the task mode there, that's what it should be on task. The task mode is showing us that's how you need to understand all these, and that's part of the package anyway. So that task mode is manual. That's what it's showing us now. I'm going to show you in a minute. So it's manual because it's giving me this sign. If it's auto, that's the sign of manual there. If I select that, you can see that's the manual schedule. Yeah, it's scheduled manually. That's why it's telling me this. I want it to automate. I want it to automatically work in line. I want all the tasks to be synchronized, basically. So one thing I could do is You could go back here, and if you go to your options, I think there's a place we actually you can actually do it under that one. New task created, you can auto schedule it. Yeah, you could do that. If you don't do that, you could go back here and select all of that and just automate it. Then it's going to change. It's changed the view now. So that's an auto. Now, what it's saying now is automatically giving you the Gantt chart. The right-hand side is your tracking side. That's the tracking view. That's the schedule view. So your monitoring view and your tracking view, basically. So you're using this to track and using this to set it up. Now it's going to make sense very soon. Now we'll change it to auto. Now, one of the things you need to be aware of is go to your view. There's what we call table. There's table view. At the moment, we're doing entry. So we're going to have in the entry mode, the entry table, because we're entering. There are times we might have to walk into we'll have to change to the work table mode or cost table mode. We'll get there as we go along. Now, the next thing for us to do now, we set up the task. Then we need to, based on our estimate, we need to start setting the duration. How long do you think it's going to take us to start? How long are we going to, we're starting a day, we want to analyze for 5 days. I want to design for 10 days. You see what I'm doing? You can type into it, or you could just use that to adjust it. I want to do that development. It's going to take me 15 days. Testing takes 7 days. Deployment is just a 2 days job, finishing in a day, and that's it. I don't need days. I don't need that. Okay, don't worry. Leave that days. No. So next thing, I'm going to accommodate it at some point. The next thing then we need to then begin to think of. At this moment, we've set up a task are auto schedule. You can see that. The assumption is, because we already set, don't forget, at the beginning, we set our starting date to the 13th. So it assumes we're starting on the 13th. You can see that 13th April. And it's assuming everything is starting on the same date. But are they starting on the same date? No. It's not going to be same day starting. Yes, there's going to be a lot of dependencies under a starting date. But how do we then begin to do that? How do we link them all together? How do we link them all? There's going to be, we can link manually. I'll show you that, and we can link automatically as well. We can have an auto linking, and we can have like a manual linking. Now, how you're going to do it is select your tasks we have done before, and don't forget you're going to be in the task mode. So select task, here task, you get the task tab, select task, then you see that link there. That is unlinked. That is linked. Click on that, and you can see the fantastic job the LMS will do for you. Based on the duration you set, it's automatically said that's starting on the 13th. The day after, that takes 5 days. And the day after that, that takes 10 days. And the next one takes 15 days. It's telling you now, my finishing date is going to be 7th, 14th. Now, I'm starting when we're going to start on the 13th. So it takes a day. It takes it this 14th. We're going to start because it takes a day. We're not setting it to 0. And we're going to finish. It's looking at it on the 14th. Is it really 14th? 9th, sorry. Yeah, that's not part of the plan. Don't worry. I'm going to take it up. So that's 9th of June. Now, does that align with the plan you have? Does that align with the plan? That's the next question you have to ask. Now, I will speed it up a little bit briefly just to show us some sort of example. There are a lot of things we could do when we're setting up tasks. There's a lot of things we could do when we're setting up tasks, and it could take a lot of time. So we're not going to do everything in what I mean. We're not going to do everything from end to end. Yeah. So one thing I want to quickly do now, I want to sub-categorize them. So start, analyze, and design. Yeah, it's a category. So I'm going to click on that and summarize. See the summary there? Click on summary. It gives you another line on top. That's a phase. So I'll call that, I can call that anything. It could be my, you could put it here, you could double click on it. So if you double click on the task, it opens us the information for that task. So I could type it there to say, that is my phase 1, whatever I want to call it. Stage 1. Yes. I say that's stage 1. Okay, you put it on top. Then that's auto design. You can see it's put it under it. It's sort of indent it. You can see the indentation under that. It's kind of taken out. So now development of tests could be I'll put development as, okay, let's put it together. It doesn't really matter. We want to summarize that as, if we click on that, you can type it in there or double click on it, whichever one. I can select and say it's stage 2. And okay, and I want to do the last one to summarize it, to say that's my stage 3, right? That's it. So I've done that. Now you can see now MS Project is categorized, it's giving you like a summary on top. So it's categorized these 3 tasks as single phase. And the next one, as we've done it, that's what it's done. Yeah, we've done it like that. And one of the things you could do is, let's do something. I'm going to sort of select that and unlink it. Sorry. Select that and unlink all of them. So they come back to the same place. That's what they have. Now, I just want to quickly show you. Instead of linking like that, I could again go pick that, drop it on top of that. I could manually actually link it. But don't make mistake to move it left or right. When I move it left or right, you're adjusting the date unknowingly. The date to change because that's aligned to that date on this left and right. So make sure you just dragging it down on top of it. Don't move it, and you look for the next, and you do the same. Hopefully you can find it. Don't drop it. When I'm holding it, I'm dragging and holding. I'm not leaving it until it drops on top of that. And like that, and so on and so forth. And that's how you set your plan. That's how you set your plan. So you can begin to track it. And the last one, so now they're linking, I'm linking them manually, so you can do it manually or auto, whichever one you want to do. And I'll tell you one thing now. Quickly, I'm going to jump a lot of steps now. Quickly, I'll go here, go to resource table, resource, look for that, look for resource. Sorry, I'm wearing glasses. I'm going to, oh, sorry, yeah, resource form. Sorry, did I click the right one? Resource sheets, yeah, right. So resource sheet is where you set up your resources. Now, with assign, I'm jumping some steps because there's some integrity I will teach you, but now I want to set resource at the Joe, John, Sarah, and stuff like that. And I have to set up like sound cable, yeah. Now they are part of your resources. So when you set up a resource, you identify them as either work. People are working. The sound is not a work, it's a material. Cable is not a work, it's a material. Then this is where you now set them up based on, we've set up the plans. This is how much you say the standard rate, how much do they earn? So let's just say they earn £100 an hour. And I could just give all of them £100 an hour. Yeah. That has, you can see that as a standard rate. It hasn't gone any over time, and it's not per hour because it's not a work, it's a material. So that has a standard rate of £500, and that has a standard rate of, sorry, I could set it up here as well. If you double click on anything, it allows you to, or you just type it. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to give you 500 just for, so that's how you set it. And now prorated, I'm going to explain that later. Prorated automatically calculates. Prorated means you pay them ahead. Now, people make mistakes. You set up a plan and it's not prorated, or if it's prorated, now you've got to decide how do you pay them? Do you pay them at the start of the project, or do you pay them at the end of their task, beginning of the task, at the end of task, or as you go along? So if someone has been assigned to do 40 hours work and you pay them £100 an hour and they've done 20 hours, they should have taken 20 by 100, which is 2,000. On your budget, 2,000 should have been deducted from your cost. Now, that is if it's this. But if you put it like you pay them at the end, you may be having too much money on paper, but not enough money in the account. Why? Because your system is not calculating it as it should be. And actually, you haven't paid them. Now, but your account knows you paid them. System is saying you have more money because the system is thinking you're paying them at the end. But actually, the guy has done 20 hours, taking £2,000 off you. So the bank account is short of 2,000. So if you're trying to reconcile the account, you'll be like, where's the money? You can look for the money from now till I don't know when. You're not going to get it until you fix this problem. Why? You pay them as they do it. Anyway, that's the default. So once that is done, now quickly, one thing I'm going to do is we could go back to Gantt chart, move the Gantt chart sheet. Gantt chart, you go to resource, then you now pull assign resources. We'll set up a plan. I've listed my resources, I've listed the hours, blah, blah, blah. And I can begin to say that task is going to be done by that person assigned. Task this is going to be done by these three guys. You select the three together, assign. Task that will be done by that. That's how you assign tasks. And you can select that task will be done by number one, hold your sheet on your laptop. Before, if it's not like the next line, hold the sheet, you know how to do that. Sorry. The control, then you assign. Yeah, you assign those two people. Text, you don't just randomly. That's how you assign tasks. Then you can see some wonderful stuff that you're going to do and finish. Everybody's going to do it or whatever. Everybody's going to finish. So I'll just select all like that and I'll do that. Actually, I should update start. Start should be okay. Start is everybody. So I've assigned all the tasks. Yeah. Hopefully, let's get out of there. Okay. So when I've assigned tasks, one of the things I could do is on your project, let's check where the task must have been. I want to jump a lot of steps because of my time. I want to see the best thing that you need to see now. We've set the tasks. Okay, let's quickly see something. Let's see the cost or work view. Yeah, let's see the work view. Yeah, work view now tells me, you can see that per task, because of people I've assigned, tell me how much work is needed. I've assigned one person is 8 hours work, and it's not done anything. Yeah, I've assigned maybe, I don't know how many people here. I'm not going into details now, but you can see the people I've assigned here on top of each task. Ade is working on that, is 8 hours. These 3 people are working on that based on the cost. That's the work view. Don't worry. So it's the work we were seeing. We're seeing the hours, the work. Yeah. So if I want to see something, I'll go here and I see the cost view. So the cost view is telling me each task is going to cost me this much based on the resources I've assigned to it. And you understand what I'm trying to say? So the system is calculating that for you. I'm going to quickly jump now. So you can see how tasks relate to resources and how your resources relate to your budget. So I've told you, project manager manages the project by managing the time, the resource, and the budget. The time is this duration. The resources are your resources, the budget is the cost. Yeah. So that's how it all aligns in the MS project. Now, if everything is right, presumably, what you want to do is go to the project, back to your project information, check your statistics, and it gives you the full overview. That's your start date. You're starting on the 14th, you're ending on the 10th of June. It's going to take 42 days to do. There's no baseline set yet. The remaining days, still 42, we haven't done anything. It's 432 hours of work, and we haven't done anything yet. It's still remaining that, and it's going to cost us £45,200, and that's it. You understand? So we can present this to the board if they agree to the budget based on every cost of analysis you've done and your estimation and all that. That's what you come up with. Once they agree, that is your starting point. Yeah. Okay. What other things should we do? Then when you set that up, let me see what else I need to do to jump that. So at the moment, something you can see something. I'm going to do something now. I'll move this. Okay, let me see. Okay, I've not really done that. I'll go back to that. Okay. Now, okay, quickly, I'll show you this. Okay, I won't go too far. I won't show you baseline now. I won't show you because of that time. So what I want to show you is dependencies. I can actually show you baseline. Dependencies, if you double click on that, or you double click on the task, that's the dependency between the two. That's the finish to start. That means task, this task will finish before that one starts. Finish to start. You could change that to start, and you're okay. You see what's going to do? The two of them align. They're starting at the same time. Yeah. Let's say we move this one again, start. And you okay that, he aligns it back again, right? And that's how dependencies work. You can work, there's a lot of things you can explore under dependencies and all of that. That's how it works. And sometimes you could have some conflicts. Conflicts will mean when you have two concurrent tasks, and you've assigned same resources to it. Yeah. Say this goes on for just one day. I'm expecting to have Ade is working on this, is working on this at the same time. Has he got enough time to work? If not, let's try and say it's going to do this one like finish to finish, something like that. Okay, that's not changing it. Now, I'll try and create that at some point for all. I don't want to waste too much time. There are times when there'll be conflicts. You're telling this person to do this task, and you tell them again to do another task. And the system is going to tell you they can't work on those two at the same time. You see a conflict coming out around somewhere here. It's going to come in. You're going to be somewhere on your task. Yeah. You're going to have some conflict around which needs to be resolved. That means you're telling me to work 8 hours a day today, and the same day you want me to do another job, same day that I'm doing something else. The system is going to say it's not possible. He already has an assignment for that day. Now, do you want me to sort it out for you? You could auto sort it out. There are a lot of things you could do. You can auto level on a project when you have conflicts. Let me see what view we are on. As a matter of fact, what table are we on? Cost, okay. We should be on entry here. I also have said we should have had it. That's what I'm talking about. That's the conflict. Yeah, because I was thinking, yeah. So that's the conflict we're talking about. That's this task has over allocated resources. Right click for options. There are some options you could do. You could fix it by inspector or the schedule available. Anyway, so that's one of the ways to fix it. But I'm going to handle that later. For now, what I'm going to do is we can ask let's say we set it to another date. And that's going to come up with that. There's a lot of things we could do on that. So, but I could auto level that particular task if I want to. But like I said, I'm going to handle that at some point because I'm actually watching the time. So you see like an overview of how we create tasks. It is have your work grade and structure are created like this. Before this, to create your plan, set your budgets, make it agreed on, manage and track everything of your time, resources, and all that. I'm trying to avoid the time because I actually want to do it fully for us, but a lot of other things we need to address. So I'll fix it, this to be finished some other time. But anyway, that's an overview of MS Project and how we're going to be dealing with it. So I'll jump back on our slide and touch a couple of more things, just in 10 minutes. Then I'll leave us to ask some questions. Like I said, it's just an eye-opener for us. So when you set up a plan like that, they've all agreed on it. Yeah, I set up my resources, everything aligned. Next thing I should do is set a baseline, resolve all the conflict, set a baseline, and start monitoring and tracking. If anything then moves, these are the things I intended to do at the time. I will move some tasks out of line so that it creates like a critical part for us. The red part I drew up here, you will see it. And that's when you now you may run a project without any critical parts. It may go straight away because if you keep on top of it. But the thing is, 90% probability that he's going to have it. So that's why you're a project manager, to monitor and control. You are managing those 3 constraints, your resource, your time and budget, and controlling it. And that's a very good tool for you to use. Anybody, please, as a BA, you need that as well. I've got a BA already that I've trained that is working, and she's doing both project management and business analysis job. Now, she's been requested to do something on that recently, and as a business analyst, you need it as well. If possible, it's just to up your game, basically. If you add that extra skill set, it will just sort of distinguish you in the market. It may just be that one skill set that puts you above every other person. So please don't ignore it. If you are interested in BA as well, you could be a project manager at the same time. Right, so cool. At this point, what we're doing next is I'm moving into the project life cycle. I've actually mentioned it, project life cycle. We're going to initiate a project. When the project is initiated, and there are things we do. We do the analysis and preparation. Then after the initiation, then we plan. Yeah, we plan, that's develop the project schedule and the time. That's what I've done. When I've done my plan, and I begin to execute. When I'm executing, I'm monitoring and controlling. You see that under piece 2 when we get there very soon. And you monitor and control until the project closes. So basically 5 stages. Now, from this system development point of view, we go to analysis stage. You analyze, you design. When you're designing, as it's the time you are creating your document, creating the scope of work and all that, then you begin to develop. Development is the execution stage. When you begin to execute, a project manager at that point begin to monitor and control. And that's stage 3. Then you begin to test. Everything you've done needs to be quality checked, basically. The QA team will check. For every project, there's always a standard. There's a quality standard. There's an ISO standard for that building project you're doing. There's a policy in place to guide you. So it's got to be quality checked. It's got to be cross-checked against government policy or any other policy within the industry that you're working before you then begin to evaluate and then deploy. That's the final stage. So pretty much 5 stages. analysis, design, development, which is the execution stage, then the testing phase, then you deploy. That's the project process there. That's the project life cycle, where in a nutshell, again, that explains all that. Then when you're setting up a project, of course, you run workshops. When you're running a workshop at the initiation stage, you studying resources and spacing the course, meeting with clients to understand the project, defining the stakeholders and defining the scope. You're making sure they sign up every project. Yeah, it's where you do with your budget and your resources and all that. And stage two, you begin to plan your objectives, your requirements, your deliverables. Put the plan in place. All your tasks has to be broken down. The assumptions and constraints. That's your initiation document phase as a project manager. That's the document for you. Again, the project planning continues, and then stage 3, 4, 5 execute. That's an agile environment, which I'm going to touch in a minute. That's the execution stage. Step 2, 3, 4 is when you execute. When you're executing, the project manager is monitoring and controlling at that stage. Don't forget, when you initiate, the initiation means, oh, we're kicking off. Yeah, business case has already been signed up. There's a justification for that project. We're kicking off. We already agreed. Business decided they're kicking off. They set the budget for it. So project manager can now start the initiation. Yeah, after initiation, then you must have created all the documents ready. Your project plan that we just finished must have been completed. Already agreed on with that budget, on that statistics, already done. I didn't show you the cost. I mean, there are reports on that, but there's a lot to show you on the MS project. Please don't miss it when I say the meeting of very soon. It's a big tool that everybody needs to understand. You could see a lot of reports that you could extract out of the project plan. How useful that system is. Actually, it's very, very useful. Anyway, so after the project plan is already done, then people are executing, developers are working, the builders are doing. Project manager, that's when your jobs actually start. You're monitoring and controlling at that point. Nothing has to change. That task is 5 days. Is it going to be given 5 days? Is the key already? How many percent is done? I didn't show you that in the MS project as well. It tracks all the percentage done based on what you set. Someone is meant to work for 8 hours. When they've done 2 hours, it tells you 25% is done. It shows you all that. So day 3, only 50% is done. You only have 2 days more. How are you guys going to do the rest in 3 days? You've done 3 days, 50%. Do you need any extra day? Because now you have 2 days. Now, do you have enough resources? That's the project manager. Can I give you one more resource? That's where you see organizations that are recruiting contractors. Now, there's a project that's already failing. We need people on board. Come on, guys. They need more resources not to meet the deadline. That's it. That's the reason. If they have the time, they don't need resources. If they don't have the time, then they need money. Don't forget those 3 constraints. You don't have time. You don't want to miss the date. You need money. Money means more resources. Yeah, that's how it works. Stage 3, 4, 5. That's how it works. Right. Then project closure follows after, and that's it. A lot of tools that you're going to learn as a project manager and a lot of documents. Now, I'm going to talk the project methodologies again in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes. Prince 2 talks of processes, principle, and tips. Yeah, that's what Prince 2 talks about. Prince 2 talks about processes. Processes talks about your startup, starting the project, initiating the project, directing the project, So 7 principles. So again, like I said, 3 things project manager do over 3 things. Prince 2 has 7 principles, 7 things, and I love it. So it just makes it stick. Project manager does 3 things on 3 things. They manage, monitor, and control time, budget, and resources. Now, Prince 2, which is a methodology that you use, is a framework to manage. It's an effective, tested, and trusted framework to manage the project. It works on 7 principles, 7 teams, and 7 processes. Yeah, fantastic. Now, these are the principles and projects. I'm not going to talk too much of that, but understand Prince 2 is not what you do. It's a framework you work in. And what it does for you is it gives you that framework, that platform that guides you. You don't have to do much work. The framework is that the standard is already set. Just work in it. Now, one of the principles of Prince 2 is that tailored to suit your environment. Don't forget that. Tailored to suit your environment. People always miss that. So it tells you to continue business justification. It tells you to learn from experience, manage by stages, manage by exception, focus on product, but then tailor to suit your environment. That means Prince 2 is a framework. You could bring it to any organization. Just adjust it as it suits you. But it's giving you all these structures, this framework, all these documents, all the documents you need as a project manager, they are here. The business case is there. Your project initiation documents. That's the one. It's there. It's a Prince 2 document. And that's how it is. They created the structure. They even explain what you should do. That's how every template looks like. Every template already explained. They tell you what they expect you to do. So that's the essence of Prince 2. They've given us all about 37 documents already created as template. Just pick one. So organization just pick the Prince 2 document and adjust it. Put their logo there, put, adjust it as a suit there. We don't need that section. We want another. That's all they do. And that's what I've done for my company. So it tells every organization you go, you see the same structure of documentation. The thing that will change the logo and maybe a few things will change. It already explains everything you do in a project. Yeah. Like I said, the approval, the revision, the documents you've done. You're going to see quite a lot of things, the content, your business case, your approach, your roles and responsibility, your business team structure that I told you on VCO, your quality management, your communication skills is there. How are you going to communicate? What's the configuration? What's the risk you're going to manage? What's your project plan? You do the project plan in MS Project, you copy and paste it here. Project control, how do you intend to control? What sort of reports? Those are talking of documents you're going to use to control. And that's your project initiation document, basically. And that's what Prince 2 does for us. It gives us that structure to manage the project. It's a framework, it's a methodology. You may be working in it, you may not even know. Right. We'll go into detail of that in the full project. Another methodology you should think about, you should start talking about, is the software development lifecycle. Well, software development for people that are going to work in software projects. You should be talking of agile software development project. What do you call it? Methodologies. The waterfall methodology. But it's straightforward. Waterfall is what I told you the other time. Analyze, design, develop, test, and deploy. It's just like boom, like you're pouring water down from the fountain, basically, or the water, coming down from the fountain like that. It just drops. You can't return it back. Now, that's why it's waterfall. When the water is coming down, you can't return it up. It's going to hit the floor anyway. The only thing you can do is clean it up. Right. Now, what does that mean in methodologies or in project management? It means when you want to use waterfall, make sure you know your end. You agree to an end first. If you need anything to change in the project, that's the essence of Agile. When you're managing a project and there is the likelihood of stakeholders changing their mind or adding new requirements or changing things along, which is inevitable, I'll tell you that. From my very little experience, yeah, it's inevitable. Yeah. Now, but sometimes you're sure of an existing system. I'll give you an example. Now, there's a TikTok. TikTok is an application a lot of people are using now. TikTok, they did an application on Android. Okay, they've done it on Android. They want to do it on iOS. They already know what to do. No, you know what? Just replicate what's on Android to iOS. You can use waterfall for that. Why? Because you already know the end from the beginning. Or someone wants to build a house. Oh, I can see, you see that my friend's house. Give me exactly like that. I don't want anything to change. In fact, I don't intend to take that same style of house, that same structure. I've got the same plot of land, yeah, and I want that same color. You can use waterfall because you are sure of an end before you start. Because the thing in waterfall is when you start, you can't go up again. What is done is done. There is no reiteration. There's no going back to the developer, to the business to say what you need again. No. Waterfall methodology is not right for projects that are likelihood of changes in between. Yeah, that's how waterfall is not shape. Agile is when changes are necessary. When you know things will change. It allows for changes and feedback. So you do phase one, you post phase one, they review, they come back with their feedback. They say, no, I don't like that. They say, can you please change that? That's agile. That's what agile is all about. It's like being agile, being flexible, flexibility. Yeah, it's a multi-iterative life cycle that you break things down into stages. Do stage one, let them review it. Are you still happy? Do you want to go on? Don't forget one of the principles of Prince 2, continual business justification. Means every stage of the project, review the necessity for carrying out that project. You're doing it, they've done stage one. Does anything impact the project? I'll tell you what, yesterday's session of BA will tell you that you must start a project, but there's a political policy coming up. Now, another political party is going to win. Their manifesto has already told you something is going to change. Yeah. Does that affect your project? As a BA and PM, that is your responsibility. Quickly allow the business, party ABC is likely to win this election. Let's hold on this project for you know why? When they win that election, their policy will affect us. It will be a waste of money. So we put the project on hold sometimes for policies, from politics, for political parties. We put project on hold for natural disaster that has happened recently. Well, presumably. You understand? So all those are continuous justification that Prince is talking about. Anyway, in detail, we'll talk about that later. I've got 2 more minutes. So that's what system development lifecycle does. So it tells us waterfall and agile. Those are the 2 good methodologies they love. Now, how does agile relate to Scrum? Scrum is only a process. It's a framework for managing agile. Agile is the methodology, SaaS and MAS. Scrum is the process for implementing agile. I've had a lot of questions on that. Prince 2 methodologies, agile. Now, 3 methodologies we talked about. Prince 2 methodology for project management, for software development, waterfall, and now we're talking Agile. But in Agile, you use Scrum to manage Agile. And what does Scrum mean? Scrum is that daily meeting you have. Is that the iteration process of managing Agile sprints. In Agile, you create sprint. That's just packages. Packages set to be delivered at a particular time. So I have lists of tasks, and I've set them task 1 to 5 is deliverable within 3 weeks, because our sprint in-house is planned as 3-week iterations, yeah, or sometimes in 2 weeks for some organization. It depends on how you plan it. But in 3 weeks, what can you deliver in 3 weeks? That's what needs to be in that sprint package. And once you're delivering that sprint, you need Scrum to deliver a process. What you make on a daily basis, the daily stand-up, 3 questions that ask, what was done yesterday? What do you plan to do today? Are there any difficulties that you had yesterday or you're going to have today that could delay you from delivering what you intend to do? So those 3. What you did yesterday, do you have any issue with what you did yesterday? Anything that needs to be answered? No. What do you plan to do today? What would delay you from delivering what you have today? Simple, 15 minutes, done. And that is Agile for you. That's how it's related. Now, in Agile, we run sprints. Sprints in software development are full of stories, user stories. Each sprint is packaged with user stories. Those are your deliverables. Those are your tasks written in user story format. Those are requirements from BAs written in user story format. Detail of that will be in the full training. Again, it's just an eye-opener of things to go through. Then backlog means when you package. Imagine you package your bag like you're traveling. Now, inside your big bag, there are a set of bags. There are bags that contain your cosmetics. There are bags that contain your toiletries. There are bags for your shoes. There are bags for your inner wears. There are bags for your shirts and bags for your trousers. So those are packages and those are sprints. Each one of those bags are sprints in the Agile world, because each one contains similar and related requirements. Yeah, user stories or requirement, whatever it is. It's both in software development, we write user story. For some time, user story is needed when it's user-centric. Anyway, we'll go into that detail later. Now when you are delivering, so you have about 10 bags packed. You pick one per time. Now, the 9 listed, all the 10 are called backlogs. The 9 that are listed behind you, those are your backlogs. Collections of user stories are already been packed, but they are not dealt with yet. So you pick sprints from backlogs. I don't know if that makes sense. And from the backlog, there are product backlogs that are release backlogs. Product backlogs, the sprint backlog, those are sprints that are packaged to be delivered. There is release backlog, sprints that have been developed already, ready to be delivered. So sprint backlog are those that are waiting to be picked up. Yeah. Now, when it's been picked up and it's been done, that's the release backlog, ready to be released into production, into the finished product. When it's being released, those are the product backlogs. Yeah. Anyway, in detail, we'll go into that again later. Multiple prioritization we talked about yesterday, our prioritization technique, and that's it. That's how Agile looks like in just a picture format. That's how you start it. Those are the product backlogs. Those are your meetings, the planning. You plan the sprints. You need subject matter experts to plan the sprint. Subject matter expert means leaders from each of the executing project managers, the BAs, maybe the program manager will be there, the head of Oracle department, Oracle developer, head of Java developer, head of COBOL, all sort of head of each SMEs that are needed to deliver that. They need to be there because they will give you the best estimate to deliver. Oh, that can be done in 1 day. That's 2 days. Because you don't want to package something that can be delivered in days. So they can say 2 days, 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, 8 days, makes up 3 weeks. That's a sprint. Let's go on and execute that. When you go to execution, you put them in the backlog, then that's where the execution takes place. These are the daily Scrum process. And then your review is done, retrospective and all that after the whole thing. Advantages of Agile is that I display to customer that's feedback. They see what you're doing per time. They can give feedback. One disadvantage is that it's a complex methodology and it could be very resourceful. It could need a lot of resources like Waterfall. Waterfall needs very minimal resources. Agile will need more. Right. On point. I tried as much as possible. That takes us to the end for today. I'll just have a few minutes to answer our questions. A lot can be done. Please, again, I'll encourage us. You can drop your questions. I can answer. You can type it in like you've been doing. I don't mind doing that if you have any. If you want to talk, I can unmute everybody very soon so that I get our feedback straight away. But if we don't want to have time tonight, thank you again for participating in this. I believe you've been able to pick one thing or the other. Yesterday and today's video, I will edit it and I will deliver it on our social media platform at some point. We all get it, whether you attended or you missed it. I'll make sure it gets to everyone to watch. So it's going to be available for everyone. I can even send it to our emails at some point if you want. If you give me the privilege to do that. But again, if you need me for anything, please we got our social media platform. We got the number on Facebook and we got maybe whatever detail you think you have, go on social media, get in touch, and let's help each other, let's rub mind, let's sharpen one another. That's the essence of this. There's going to be a lot of ways you can participate in this. We discussed that later. There's a lot of things that will happen. We run through courses, we run people that I want to work for us, so we can train you to work together, we'll sign up a contract, and eventually we can release you to go work somewhere, depending on what. And we could train you, and that's going to be, it's going to cost some money to go and work somewhere else. Yeah, we just train to get the skill, and now if you're on the job, and you can still add to your skill set as well. We can agree together on something. Don't be scared of anything. Please be open. We're here to help each other and all the rest. And sometimes we even train in organizations to equip people and just to make sure everyone achieves what they intend to achieve in life. That is one of the things that makes me happy. I like challenging people to make sure they don't just stay where they are. Make sure you push yourself as much as you can, because you can deliver more than what you're doing now. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm open to questions now before we just close officially. Okay, thank you very much, Madika. Akoni Olaiwola, thank you. Akoni, thank you. Please, are we going to get these classes soft copy? Classes soft copy, yeah, the recording, yeah, you'll get that. Any other thing you need, like I said, please get in touch with me. Just on the social media, or this WhatsApp number on the Facebook. Just look out for Spec Group. You can see it there, and you can see it on the flyer. If you go any. If not, tomorrow, please don't miss out on tomorrow. I'm going to display all the information you need, or I'll send it along to us. But if you look out for Spec Group on social media, whether Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, you're going to see us there. Spec Group, you're going to see something related there. You get through to one platform. Facebook is a good one for you to easily go. It's a WhatsApp number that get into. Anything you need, please send it to my email. Thank you for the training. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, all right. Just the last part. I'm going to make sure your background is not noisy. I'm going to unmute everybody. So if you have anything to say, while we're close. So the only thing is you might mute yourself if you want to. Okay, right. I've got another question here. What are the best books to use for business analysts and for project management? Yeah, I can recommend. Now, for business analysts, go get business analysis techniques. Again, if you need that, I can send you some links or copies. Where now, or any sort of help I could do, get in touch with me. I'll do that. Business analysis techniques is a very good book. There's a Prince 2 book as well. I can recommend today about 3 project management books I'm going to recommend to you as well. But for BA, start with one, because that one is all you need. Business analysis techniques. It's 72 techniques for 99 techniques. It's more than enough for you. Right. How does one? Right. Well done, teacher Obiola Uto. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. I've sent to everyone's email. Yeah. Right. I just want to make sure I'm not losing anyone. Thank you, Miriam, for sure. Thank you, Miriam, for sure. Okay, I think that's about it. Right. Does anybody have anything to say or any other question so that I'll officially close for today? Tomorrow is another day. So tomorrow we're going to be going through data analysis and business intelligence analysis. It's not going to be too long. It's going to be very well. I hope not, maybe not up to 10. But we're going to see how that all aligns together. You can see the sort of alignment between BA and PM. They work hand in hand. You can add both skill sets at some certain level, and just the sky is just a beginning of that. So same thing with data. I guess they have shown us on school that for data analytics and visualization. I'm going to be showing us more tomorrow how to use SQL, basic SQL query. I'm going to be querying some database in your presence. We fetch out some data, and we transfer that data into Excel, and we do the analysis, and we show you how to use some tools to create some data visualization. And that's the critical thing we're looking at tomorrow. So basic SQL, how to extract data is the core. I will always encourage every data analyst to do that. A lot of people don't know they need that. Please, it's very important, even for BAs as well. That's what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. And we're going to be recapping yesterday and today as well, in addition to the extra time we're going to have. Thank you very much, everyone. I believe we are all okay for today. Any other thing, please, you have sometimes my WhatsApp, business WhatsApp on the Facebook page. Get in touch, ask any question, request for whatever you think you need. And if you need to go in fully with us with training, get in touch. We can agree on something together. How does one pay to be a trained BA? I don't get that. How do you pay to be a trained BA? All right, if you mean how do you train with us, get in touch with me. We can arrange something. And now, if you've registered for this session, now some people are sending email. If you registered, I must have your email there, and that's what I'm going to do. If not, please register if you need any copy of this video. Register before or by tomorrow, so that I can use that email to communicate to you, not the one you're sending there. Thank you. But I'm just going to use the system. It's already on the system. I'm not going to use that. Thank you, Mr. Manuel. Business analysis technique. Okay, written by, and there are 3 people that have written it: James Cradu and Deborah Paul. That's it. I don't know if you can see that. James Cradu, Deborah Paul, and Paul Turner. If you can see that. If not, just request for you. I'm going to send it to you. There are a lot of books you can actually buy if you're asking, because there's business analysis technique for business analysts, but I'll ask you to buy the other one, not this one. There are books for writing effective use cases, especially for BAs. There are books, there's a book for UMLs, that's all your diagrams as a BA. There are books for project management as well. Don't let me bore you too much with books, right? Now, but if you need anything, like I said, get in touch. Yeah, we can always do something, right? I'm still asking, please look for career management. I'm going to recommend that to you. Yes, for career manager, please get in touch. Train with me. Yes, if you're training with me, right? Okay, how much are you going to? How does one pay to train with you? Like I said, get in touch with me. We can always agree. Let's talk first. Let's see where you are, because I like now. My process is this. You're going to see our system coming up soon. Let me quickly see if I can show you now. Just briefly, please don't go yet. Don't go yet. Just 1 minute. I'd like you to see that, because it's going to be. It's going to be very interesting. Pretty much soon. Very, very interesting. Now, it's going to be interesting in the sense that wherever you are, I'm putting together a project that allows you to work anywhere. Anywhere means your training will be delivered just like I'm delivering this. So we're building a system. I believe you'll be able to see it soon. I don't know if you can. Let's. Sorry. Just a moment. Right. Okay. I know you can see it now. So that's one of the process system we're working on at the moment, which allows you to now you can train anywhere. That system is going to be live in less than 2 months' time. Now it's a massive system. It's a virtual workplace. All the tools you need will be in there. All your courses, or not just your courses, the project you're going to be working on, the mentoring section, you're going to be appraised per time. It's going to be subsequent performance appraiser. So you book your course like this. You book it, you register for your training, you're going to have it online, all your resources will be there. I'll show us quite a lot of pages. So you have numerous resources. I can show you quite a lot of things. So you're going to have ability to choose any mentor you have. I'm going to have a lot of experts on the floor to train you. That's going to be some of your mentors area. You can choose any mentor, still the same system that's mentoring. Resources will give you things like I'll show you in a minute. So resources will give you ability to see the video. Such a video that we're watching now, you see resources, you see materials. That's how it's going to look like. So now you will have your dashboard. You can see this is my virtual workplace. It's a personal office for me. My personal office means you have your record. Your profile picture is there. You can have notification. So I can message you anytime. You're going to see it right there and then immediately. You can message me as well. That's going to be integrated with some messaging applications. Microsoft Teams is going to be integrated. All the tools I'm talking about, the Visio, the MS Project, the Google App, the Jira, the Balsamic Mockup, all the tools you're talking about will be within what I call assets and tools, which is going to be wrapped under your profile. So under your profile, you have access to all that. So name it. Everything is in place for you. Now, everything is in place for the academy. Now, we've not even talked more. The consulting is going to be working on projects. Now, on project means I'll show you the consulting page. Consulting page means we have now a stream of, now we have a system that logs in business requests. So a lot of requests are going to be coming in that people from organizations and all the rest. So those are the things that will be filtered into the back system, basically for you to work on. So I mean, the list is endless. So when you join fully, you are in to work. Please. Now I'll mention something. Who wrote the business analysis book? Paul, Turner, James, Claudio, and Deborah Paul, right? Now, on Facebook, I'll answer that question. On Facebook, go look for Hostel Group. Then the rest is, you get all the rest of the detail you needed. Yeah, on Facebook, look for Hostel Group. I'm sending it to all now. Send to all, and any platform, you just look for that. And message me, there's a WhatsApp number there. Let's talk and let's, now we're going to assess you. Now, the platform I showed you now, just for the assessment, assess it where you are. I mean, I can't show you, there's a lot of things. I mean, I can briefly show you that it's quite interesting, to be honest. Interesting in the sense that it will sort of size you up where you are. I'll show you that briefly. So pretty much the system it knows your current situation. Your current situation can be put there. So it understands your current situation, and I'll tell you what, the next thing you're going to see is that it defines for you, based on what you're going to do, now, a lot of people don't think of that, how the next level will look like. For example, you're working now, how much do you earn? When do you plan to retire? Now, you're 30, you're retiring at the age of 60, you're earning 40,000, whatever currency, you have just 30 years. Now, 30 years means if you're earning 20,000, now by 30 years, you only have 600,000. If I give you 600,000 now, can you survive with 600K? If the answer is no, you need to step up. That means what you're earning now is not enough towards your retirement plan. It's not enough. Now, that means you could look on our platform and size yourself up, do some evaluation. What can you do to get what you need? That is what this page is going to do for you. It's going to give you a projection, something to work towards, a goal that we can then work with you to achieve that goal. And that is what we're building. It's a system that works. I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am. If you really, really came to be part of the team, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I'm not talking money here. I'm not even talking money. The serious thing. People that train with me, some might be on the platform, they're going to tell you that if you are with me, if you're not ready to work, please don't call me. Don't even, because the thing is, you need to be ready to get your hands dirty. Hands dirty means get on it and get the job done. The more you do, the quicker you do it, the more zealous you are, yeah, the better for you, and the quicker you get what you're aspiring to get. That is my own happiness. That is what makes me successful. So yeah, like I said again, get in touch with me. I've answered that question on Facebook. Who wrote the business analyst? I've shown you that. If not, ask me again. Email address, I've told you, register. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Any other question I'll answer later. Have a very good night, and well, have a very good day wherever you are. And catch you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. my own time, whatever time it is with you. If you haven't registered, please do so. Tell more people to come tomorrow, please. Tell more people, it's free. Let's positively impact more people together. And bye. Right, I should even say that, sorry. I said bye, but please stay safe, yeah? Because of the situation now, stay safe, keep everybody safe. God bless you. Thank you.